All right. We're back.
We are back. I'm Dom,
I'm Jamie.
and welcome to the cutting room floor. Today, we're going to be talking about a director both of us really appreciate for a lot of reasons.
Yes.
But he's a director I don't think is talked about enough. Although some of his movies have, had some big success, his name doesn't get mentioned very much. It's usually talking about the actors in the movie, but no one really talks about this guy. So we're going to talk about the legendary Steven Soderbergh.
Now, there are too many films to go through. So
Yeah.
we decided on three that we think defined his style, I'd say early on in his career,
Yeah.
because he did like Sex Lies and Videotape and Schizopolis before these, and maybe one other film. But starting in 98 to like 2001, he had such a great run
Yeah, it was a
of just amazing films. So we picked three that are similar.
Mm-hmm.
And we picked Out of Sight, The Limey, and Ocean's 11. And the elephant in the room is that Ocean's 11 is the best one of the three.
Yeah.
I think we can agree on that.
I think we can agree on
Yeah.
a consensus
But-
that most people would
Yeah.
say it's the
Yeah.
best one. I would say it's the best, but I wouldn't say it's my personal favorite.
No,
one of
no,
the
but
three.
like and these other two films, because you have Aaron Brockovich in that time and Traffic, but
Mhm.
they're almost more.
They're a little outlier.
Yeah, and they're more reality based.
Yes,
Obviously,
like-
Aaron Brockovich is because it's a
It's
true story.
yeah.
And Traffic is about like the drug trade.
Mhm.
So these other films, even though they incorporate similar themes as Aaron Brockovich and Traffic, as far as like pseudo reality based,
Mhm.
it's like they I think more define the style that he perfected with Ocean's 11.
I agree.
Yes,
Yes, I
yeah.
agree. I fully agree with everything you just said. Because
Yeah.
although, yes, Aaron Brockovich, I love Aaron Brockovich.
Oh, yeah,
One of
it's a
my
great film.
favorites. One of my favorite actresses is in it. It got all the Oscar.
Albert Finney, one of your favorite actors.
Yes.
He's so good.
Yes,
He's so good with that push-up bra.
Yeah.
Amazing.
but anyway,
Mark Helgenberger, one of your favorite actresses from
Yep.
CSI.
Yep, just because CSI is my favorite show ever. I've seen every single episode at least 10 times.
Have you ever watched CSI?
I've watched like 2 episodes.
You know what always pissed me off about CSI? It came out around 2000, right?
Uh-huh.
And you could tell if you're a David O. Russell fan
Mhm.
and a fan of Three Kings
Love Three Kings.
that they use like that thing in Three Kings where they would like show, I think, what happened on like the inside of the body or something.
Mhm.
Like when someone was shot, I think something like that happened in Three Kings.
And they stole it.
Yeah, they stole it for
Oh,
that
wow.
show. I couldn't believe it. Like the first time I saw it, I'm like, that was from Three Kings, another great George Clooney film.
Yeah. And speaking of David O. Russell,
Yeah.
he's another kind of Soderberghian type that
Yes,
like
he is.
he had a crazy run for a good period.
Yeah.
And no one ever really talks about him.
Because his first, I think, 2 films were like Spanking the Monkey with Jeremy Davies. He was that asshole in Saving Private Ryan, that coward.
Oh my god. Who watches a homie get stabbed?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh, chill.
Yeah.
I never saw that.
I saw it a long time ago because then he did another film with like Ben Stiller and Patricia Arquette and Josh Brolin.
Oh, 3 greats.
Yeah, and I forget, and I think Taya Leone's in it.
Wow.
Oh my god, I forget what it's called. It's like because Ben Stiller and Patricia Arquette, I think, are married.
Okay.
And my god, I might have to look this up. This is terrible because it was a great film, and then that was before Three Kings.
Yeah, because like
So
Three Kings kind of kicked it off, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, like he had a nice run early on, but like
Flirting
in the-
with Disaster.
Flirting with Disaster.
Yeah,
I have
that's
heard
what
of
it
that. I
is.
never saw that either.
Yeah, it's actually a good film. Yeah,
He had Russell's run. He had a crazy run, like
With
doing all
Jennifer
them
Lawrence.
Lawrence and Bradley Cooper.
Bradley
movies.
Cooper, yeah.
Like he had a crazy run with
he
them.
made them legitimate actors.
He really did. Like
and even De Niro.
De Niro, bro.
Yeah, he
kinda
was already
brought-
legitimate.
Yeah,
but you know
but
what
he
I
kind
mean.
of brought him back because like
Yeah.
De Niro was kind of doing trash for a minute.
Yeah, yeah,
And he actually got him another Oscar nom. So
yeah.
yeah, he brought him back. Even though I thought Silver Linings was ass. That's just me.
I thought it was like the message is good.
Yeah, but I thought the
You know.
execution was one of his weaker ones.
Well, it's more like you know, he did a film about Eagles fans, really.
Really, which I hate the Eagles. So,
that's really what that movie is about, right? It's more about
right. Bradley Cooper's wearing Eagles jersey like the whole movie.
How like Eagles fans are like mentally challenged in some way.
Yeah.
That's really what that film is about, right? If you think about it, how they have mental problems.
Hilarious. Maybe that's why a bunch of Philly people don't like it.
Yeah, that could be. That could be. Like, what are you saying?
Tons of people from Philly are like, I didn't like that movie.
That
like,
could be why, because it's kind of like
resonated with you.
Yeah, he's the guy that always like climbs up the grease poles
he climbs
and stuff.
the grease pole.
Yeah, that's him. Yeah, that's him. Which sounds dirty now that I think about it. Yeah. Well, not Bradley Cooper with the character.
But then but I loved freaking American Hustle though.
Oh, with Christian Bale and Amy Adams.
I liked him and Bale's collaborations, like The Fighter, Mark Wahlberg, Christian Bale. Oh, so good. But dude, Amy Adams, Christian Bale, Jennifer Lawrence, Bradley, Robert De Niro. That cast was stacked up. That movie was awesome. I can say that.
Well, he's one of those guys. I think he's super demanding because I heard he's hard to work with.
I've been hearing that.
Yeah,
man.
But like, the output speaks for itself, right?
Dude, that's what I'm like, but look at the movies.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, my thing is this. You could say he's hard to work with, which he may be, but he has a lot of regulars.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, you don't get regulars if you're that difficult to work with.
Just like Soderbergh, we were talking about it like last week or the week before about...
He got a ton of regulars.
Yeah, and even early on, like Luis Guzman, who is actually a great actor.
He's a great actor.
Even guest starred on Community, one of my favorite shows.
There you go. Guzman was messing with PTA and Soderbergh a lot back then.
And now Tim Burton with the Wednesday show.
Yeah.
He's Gomez.
He's had a nice little career.
Yeah.
He's done movies with a lot of good directors. I mean, he's worked with Brian De Palma a few times. Like,
wow.
He's up there.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Sorry, you know how the cutting room floor goes. So let's talk about Soderbergh. So I guess we'll go in order so we can start with the Limey.
Actually, Out of Sight came out first.
Wait, did it?
Yeah, the Limey came out in 99.
Oh, I thought the Limey was 98.
No, 98 was Out of Sight.
I thought I'm tripping. Sorry, guys.
So he made Out of Sight and then the Limey.
They were like back to back though, right?
Like, because I think he filmed the Limey in 98.
Yeah.
If you read that article I sent you.
Yeah.
So he filmed it. Right. It was like a 9-month period.
That's insane.
Yeah.
That's insane.
From when it's like, we want to do this movie till he handed it in. And that was in 98.
Because he wrote, he writes all his own stuff, right?
No, other people write it. Like Scott Frank wrote Out of Sight. Lem Dobbs wrote the Limey. But a lot of times he edits himself and does the cinematography or like co-edits.
Okay,
so like he is really hands-on.
Films have a very distinct, similar style to him.
Yes.
That's why I felt like he probably wrote them. But I was like, damn, that's kind of crazy.
And the thing about these three films is, I think Ocean's 11 is the most linear as far as like, from start to finish, even though they have some flashbacks, whereas Out of Sight and the Limey, it's like, you're like tripping balls.
You're going back and forth, especially the Limey.
Yeah.
The Limey's running back and forth crazy.
And I love that though.
Mm-hmm. No, it's very distinct to his style because there's a lot of directors who like to play with time. Christopher Nolan being probably the main example.
In the 90s, you had Tarantino with Pulp Fiction.
I'm like, Tarantino likes to play with time. Christopher Nolan. Going over to France, Gaspar Noé, he likes to play with time. There's some directors who definitely like to jump around, and he is definitely one of them. But I think it's used perfectly. He doesn't do it. He doesn't overdo it. Like some people would be like, okay, Nolan overdoes it.
Yeah.
But I don't think that, but a lot of people do.
So what did you think of Out of Sight? Because I'm curious.
So Out of Sight, I've seen it a few times.
Yeah.
I absolutely love Out of Sight. Out of Sight is one of my favorite 90s movies. And it's just a shame it didn't come out in 99 so it could be lumped in the great year.
Yeah.
Another great piece to add to the year.
Yeah.
Out of Sight is incredible. I thought Soderbergh got a whole lot out of Jennifer Lopez.
Oh yeah, I feel like he jump-started her acting career.
I really think he did. I think that was honestly like everyone has their favorite J-Lo movie, and most people wouldn't say Out of Sight. But that's going to be my answer if you're asking me. And I think honestly, even though she commands the screen far more in most of her other movies, I think this is her best performance.
Yeah,
it's a nice subdued performance.
Yeah.
That still feels very authentic.
because she's in control. Her character is in control of the situation, even if it seems like she isn't.
She isn't. Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I loved it, and she played that up well. Was she? Is there more talented people he could have got for this role? Of course, but he got someone with the right look. Because obviously J-Lo was pretty, and everyone loved, especially back then. That was like everyone loved J-Lo. I mean, J-Lo kind of started the big booty craze.
Yeah, she did really actually. Yeah,
she started the big.
Without her, would the Kardashians have surgery?
The Kardashians need to be sending J-Lo thank you cards. Every year. So she was obviously. I'm sure her status in the world was a big reason he wanted to cast her, because obviously, hey, J-Lo's in my movie, people will go see it. Yeah, because I mean, she was bigger than Clooney at that time.
Actually, yeah, because it was a year after Batman and Robin.
Yeah,
the failure of Batman and Robin.
So Clooney was like, I need some hits. I need a string of hits. I gotta erase this a little bit. Because up to then, like, what was his biggest hit, From Dusk Till Dawn?
Maybe, or after Batman and Robin, Peacemaker with Nicole Kidman came out. But I don't know if I never even saw that. Yeah, exactly.
I love Nicole Kidman, but I never even saw that.
Yeah, it looked kind of terrible.
I never even so.
Yeah, so I'm not gonna judge it, but it looked bad. And after Batman and Robin, I think people were like, there was I hate to say there's like a stench on him, but like, and it wasn't his fault because he was a capable Batman.
He was.
I mean, think about what the '90s.
Great Bruce.
He was, and what the '90s did to Batman is exactly what J-Lo did in Out of Sight. She dumped Michael Keaton for George Clooney.
She really did.
Literally in that film.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Yo.
Because Michael Keaton is her boyfriend at the beginning of the film.
I didn't even think about that. Yeah, he is, but I never thought about that. Speaking of Michael Keaton back then.
And plus another film that they're in recently, The Flash.
The Flash.
Oh my God. They dumped Michael Keaton again for George Clooney.
George and Michael are probably like, you know what? I mean, George is the younger, better looking Michael Keaton, essentially, bro.
Basically,
like,
yeah.
Like that's really what he is. Like,
so we're still doing it like 25 years later.
They're like, we ain't forgot. That's freaking hilarious.
Yeah.
But I would have to say, like, Clooney was definitely kind of on the ropes career wise. Not on the ropes, but he definitely lost a round.
Yeah, and I think that made his performance better because he had nothing to lose.
He had nothing to lose. And I think he said, this hero thing didn't work out. Let me try the villain. Because Clooney is a criminal in, like, his next 4 movies after that.
Yeah.
He's in jail, getting out of jail, going to jail. He's great at it.
Yeah, he is because he is. Have you ever seen the original Ocean's 11 from the 60s?
Frank?
Yeah. Oh,
not
terrible.
A big fan.
Terrible.
Yeah, I was like, not a big fan.
If Dean Martin would have sang "Kick in the Head" one more time, I would have jumped into the TV and kicked him in the head. He sang "Kick in the Head" like 5 times.
Good in it,
yeah,
though.
it's great.
That's got a good cast.
Even Cesar Romero, like the '60s Joker, like all these people are great. Like, but. It's just like they're all, I don't know if they're drunk or high the whole time.
They might have been, they were drinking a lot back then.
Yeah, just gambling.
Drinking, hustling.
But he took like that kind of 50s, 60s like gangster smoothness.
Smoothness, yes.
And Jack Foley in Out of Sight, I think, was the first time you saw like that Danny Ocean coming out and that he was able to do it.
Facts.
Yeah.
And because, like, dude, George Clooney is essentially the James Bond of criminals.
God, you know what I mean? He would make a great James Bond.
He would have made a great Bond.
Yeah.
Oh, Clooney, like, in, like, his mid-40s, late
40s. Like this era, like the late 90s, early 2000s. I would say
right now he's a little bit too old, but I'd say even, like, 2007 Clooney.
Yeah, he could have.
Yeah. Like, man,
you're right.
If they would have got him instead of Daniel Craig, like when they did Casino Royale.
Oh, my God.
Hell, like.
But he would have had to have an American accent, and I wouldn't have cared.
Yeah, I don't care, bro.
I was like, it's James Bond.
I can't picture Clooney doing a British accent.
No.
I can't picture it.
And the crazy thing is, like, I was watching this film again for this talk we're having, and I couldn't help but think if, like, maybe 40 years earlier or even 50 years earlier, I thought of like the cast from Notorious could have been in it, and it could have been directed by Hitchcock.
Totally, you could have had Hitchcock,
Cary Grant,
and Ingrid.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
and it would have been incredible.
Would have been insane, dude.
Yeah, I don't know who would have played Buddy because Ving Rhames is incredible as Buddy.
He is like
Yeah.
Would we have Hitchcock? He wouldn't have got a black dude.
No, he wouldn't have. Unfortunately,
I gotta get a white dude.
Yeah, unfortunately, he could have had like, believe it or not, an actor at the time that could have been a good buddy would have been Lon Chaney Jr., who played like the Wolfman.
Oh,
believe it or not, because he in later films, in like My Favorite Brunette with Bob Hope, he played kind of like, I hate to say like a dummy, but he played like a big oaf.
Yeah,
and even though Buddy in Out of Sight isn't a dummy,
I'm like,
he could have played that lovable oaf.
Yeah, he's the lovable bear.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
you
yeah.
see him, you're like, oh my god, but then you talk to him, you're like, this is the sweetest, nicest guy ever.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
How long were you on the phone with your sister? 2 hours.
Yeah.
How long were you with the girl? 45 minutes.
Yeah, it's like, what? But you know, that guilt.
Yeah,
and then,
but oh man,
yeah. Anyway, I'm sorry. I kept thinking it could have been a Hitchcock film.
It could have. It really could have, especially that style, because it is
and Cary
a thriller in a way. You know what I'm saying?
And a love story.
It's a love story and a thriller in a way, and that's right up Hitchcock's alley.
Yeah,
you know, he definitely. If Hitchcock was alive when Out of Sight came out, he would have been like, I quite enjoy this film.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
He's like, cut the black dudes out. This would have been all right.
Sadly, but only because of when he was around.
Like, dude was born in the 1800s, dude.
Yeah, so
I can't get mad at that. Like, people are like, oh, Dom, you still like Jimmy Stewart? Even though I was like, dude was born in 1911 in rural Pennsylvania.
Yeah, what would you expect?
Yeah, like,
look, people in the southern end here of PA still think
they're from
bro,
South,
and it's still Pennsylvania.
It's still PA.
Yeah, why are you waving a Confederate flag?
Yeah, like my heritage.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
it's whatever.
Like,
you know,
what is this? The Biggest Loser?
Like, do whatever you want. But
yeah.
So yeah, I Out of Sight is absolutely. I think it's phenomenal. It's only a couple layers short of a perfect film. You know.
Did you get that lighter yet? Because didn't you want to get a lighter? So you
I do. I need to get a Zippo so I can figure out how to do it. I feel like my
snap your fingers and
burn off trying to do it, but I will figure it out. It's just pretty cool. I do need to grab a Zippo. That'd be pretty sweet. But Out of Sight, guys. You know, I feel like it's a movie a lot of people haven't seen still.
Yeah, so probably not.
We can get into some of it, but let's not fully spoil it.
Okay.
But let's tell them the premise. So you got.
So.
Go ahead.
Well, the basic bones of the story is Clooney plays Jack Foley, who's a bank robber, a serial bank robber.
What'd they say? He robbed like 200?
Yeah, 200 banks or something, yeah. But he never uses a gun. Never. So he ends up in jail, and he breaks out when these other guys are breaking out, and he ends up accidentally kidnapping a U.S. Marshal who was going to that jail for another reason, for like another inmate, because she transports inmates all the time. And then as they're in the trunk and his friend Buddy, who we mentioned, Ving Rhames, is driving them away, they have a conversation and there's kind of a spark between them.
Which is one of my favorite scenes in the whole
Well, we talk about movies.
Yeah. We got to talk about this scene. Yeah, we got to talk about this scene for just a second.
Yeah.
So, just like Jamie said there, so I almost called Jennifer Lawrence. Jennifer Lopez is her character. She is, she's the one who transports the inmates. Her dad's a cop. She's a cop. Copism is her whole life.
Yeah, that's right. Her dad is a cop. He's a marshal.
He's a marshal. He's a high up man.
Yeah.
Because he buys her that Sig Sauer gun in that case, which comes in handy. Later.
Yes.
Really nice guns. But so Jennifer Lopez is there to pick up somebody, and like he said, Buddy, Vin Rhames' character, he's picking up George Clooney's character, and they end up getting into it with J-Lo, and so Buddy tells them both to get in the trunk, and while they're in there, a spark does happen, and Clooney, I mean, it's Clooney, man. I'm sorry, if your girlfriend's in the trunk with Clooney, you should sweat.
Yeah.
So, you should sweat. You
get nervous.
Yes. He's smooth as ever. Obviously super handsome. Dude, he's just got game. He knows how to talk to her.
And he's kind of like, I hate to say like sweetly retarded, but like in a way, because he doesn't quite know, because she corrects him on a couple of things. Yeah. And you see her like smiling.
Because she's like, it's like, because she's like,
you're kind of sweet.
You're smart, but you're not fully there. You know some stuff, but you're not 100% there. But like, with a little polish, you could be a very nice gem.
Yeah.
And they have a conversation. They talk about a couple films. They talk about one of the best actresses of the 70s, Faye Dunaway. And they talk about Robert Redford, another great actor out this. Honestly, I think his best reign was in the 60s, but another good one. And they talk about Bonnie and Clyde, and they talk about Network, and they talk about a bunch of good classic films.
I think they even talk about 3 Days of the Condor.
They do. They do talk about that in there. They do talk about that in there.
Yeah.
They talk about that, and they even get into some plots and some things like that. And they mention how they always fall in love really quickly.
Yeah, in films. Yes.
And me and you talk about that all the time.
Yeah, they do. And the irony is that they don't necessarily fall in love quickly, but they feel that spark,
that initial spark.
Yeah,
like, something about this dude, something about this girl.
And so the rest of the film, in between flashbacks, is them trying to have a timeout to kind of see where it would go without him being a criminal and her being
a cop.
Yeah, basically.
Because there's a scene where she has like a fantasy.
Oh yeah,
where she walks into his hotel and he's in the tub.
Yes,
and he pulls her in with all her clothes on.
And
you can tell she was like, oh. Ooh, that was hot.
Yeah,
dream. She's like, Jesus, why don't I wake up?
And you know, that's the thing with the editing in this film. Like,
it's beautiful.
They being Steven Soderbergh, and I think I forget. I remember the name of the editor from the Limey. I forget who edited Out of Sight, but they edit it in such a way that, like, you know, it's very sensual.
Yes.
Like, there's no nudity. There's no real sex or anything.
That's why,
but it's really sensual.
Feels Hitchcockian too. Because Hitchcock was a master of creating a sensual moment without showing you anything.
Yeah.
You know, that I'm like, you're pretty spot on with like, Hitchcock could definitely make this film.
And how they overlap like the dialogue and the scenes. So like, I'm thinking of when they finally meet up in that bar, and like Clooney walks up to her, but you see it through the glass. I think we were talking about this last week. You see it through the glass and there's like snow, and you see their reflections. And it's like so perfect.
Perfect. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's so clean. Because I have this on Blu-ray. And so watching it on Blu-ray and HD, it's like a mirror of perfection. It's such a beautiful shot. And the gaze they give each other. Yeah. It's like,
you could tell
they had chemistry.
They did. You could feel whatever. If they, honestly, like, because, you know,
they probably got done shooting them scenes. We're like, whew, let me go to my trailer.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? I gotta calm down.
Because, like, they go to the room, but it's overlapped with them talking at the bar, and it's just so incredible because she had just
turned away
like 3 other guys who wanted to buy her a drink, and when he comes up, like, can I buy you a drink? She's like, I'd love to.
Yep.
Because it's him.
Andy
Coates was the editor. Amazing. And we also have to mention, along with the editing, the direction, the music, David Holmes.
Fits every scene perfectly.
And it's almost like, God, this is going to sound awful. It almost seems like the way it's done, like a blaxploitation film.
It is. No,
and
it is.
Incredible.
The scenes with Don Cheadle.
Yes,
those feel very blaxploitative, like,
but like in a good way.
No, in a good way. Yeah. I mean, I don't think blaxploitation films are offensive at all. I think
there's some of the best independent films of all time.
I think they were great for black people just because they were being represented.
And they did so much with no budget.
Yeah. And it's like, even though a lot of times they were in criminal situations, they were still heroes in these situations. You know, they were still people who wanted to do the right thing. And so it's just the blaxploitation films, to me, they weren't anything different than films about white people. They just showed a grittier side of underrepresented people at that time period. Yeah,
because like Shaft was written by Ernest Tidyman, the same guy who did The French Connection.
Which is great.
Yeah, so like, you know, it's just, like you said, just like the flip side, because you didn't see it at that time.
Yeah.
It was, like Sweetback's Badass Song and Shaft were like the first two,
yeah. And I respect Sweetback so much. Like, I don't think it's a great film, but I respect it because it really did blow up that genre. And that film set the foundation for what a blaxploitation film is.
Yeah.
That movie's made by a black dude.
Yeah, Melvin Van
Peebles. He did everything. Wrote, directed, starred in, edited, everything. I'm like, Gotta love it. But
Yeah.
yeah, it does have a blaxploitation vibe to it. And like you said, especially with the score
Yeah.
and really with the Don Cheadle scenes, who is incredible
Yeah.
in this film. Like, honestly, dude, talking about this, I want to watch it, dude. I'm like,
Yeah,
I just watched it. I want to watch it again.
And if you think about it, it's one of those rare, and this might be why it was a box office bomb, really. But it's one of those rare, like, kind of big budget films where it's just Clooney, and no one had ever really heard of Steve Zahn.
Yeah, no, yeah,
So-
that had to be one
so-
of his first, second, third films, man.
Everyone else is like ethnic, you know, Jennifer Lopez,
Yeah,
Don Cheadle, Ving
his whole
Rhames.
crew, Ving Rhames,
Yeah. Everyone else. Oh,
That's a good
Albert
point.
Brooks was in it though. Yeah, but
he wasn't like a main.
yeah,
it was,
he's more of a guest
he
star.
was a guest star. Yeah,
Yeah, so it's like
Damn, I didn't even think
the
about
main
that.
the main people. There's really just Clooney
Yeah,
as the white guy, because
And
you
he's
can have
super
mainstream
tan.
films.
You know, Clooney could definitely play
Yeah.
a Cuban.
He
You
could.
know, if Al Pacino could play a Cuban, so
Yeah.
could Clooney.
Yeah. But
yeah,
and that could be why, but I think that adds to it because it shows. Good look, Luis Guzman, even though
Yeah.
he's only in it for a few minutes, God, his character is
He's
so good in that
funny,
movie.
dude.
Yeah,
he's so funny.
but I think it shows a better cross section of America than any other.
yeah,
like,
because that's how it
whitewash
was,
film.
especially in the criminal side of things.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know, because like in jail, bro, white guys are the minority in jail.
yeah,
So
yeah.
it's like that was very accurate, and Soderbergh pulls it off so cleanly and seamlessly. I never even thought about like how ethnic the cast actually
Yeah,
is.
I
was like,
didn't until we just started
yeah,
talking
and
about
I'm
it.
like, all the white people in this movie play the more minimal roles outside of Clooney.
Yeah.
Steve Zahn, like he was probably the most important, but like Kathleen Keener, she's in it for what, 15 total minutes?
Yeah,
maybe?
and even Dennis Farina, like J-Lo's dad in the film,
He's in it maybe 10, 15 total minutes.
if that, Michael Keaton just has a cameo.
Cameo, yeah.
Yeah.
You see him once, you're like, wow, it's Michael Keaton.
Yeah.
Which he was in a blaxploitation film that came out the year before that, Jackie Brown.
Yeah, and I think he might have played the same character in both films. I believe he
Played a
did,
cop.
but I think it was literally the same character.
It had to be.
Yeah.
They even dressed the same.
Yeah, I think that's why.
Weird.
Yeah, because it might have
So-
been the same producers.
Yeah, Soderbergh
Jersey
was
Films.
definitely watching. He was like,
Yeah.
"Man, Jackie Brown's pretty good."
Yeah.
It's wow, I did not even think about with how diverse the cast is.
And that could have put people off, and I hate to say it, but it was 98.
It was 98. This is how it was.
Yeah, but I think it just enhances the film because look at where like Clooney went after it,
Oh,
J-Lo
God.
went after it,
Oh, my God.
Don Cheadle,
All of them.
even Isaiah Washington, who played
Yeah, he
Don
played a
Cheadle's
lot
buddy.
of good roles.
Yeah.
He played a lot of good roles.
He was in Romeo Must Die.
Romeo Must Die. He's an
That's
asshole.
some cold shit.
That's-
I assume when he said it, a snowman took a dump.
No, right?
I assume, right? That's the only thing that.
Dude, I felt like I was the only person who liked that movie.
Oh.
For the longest. Aaliyah is horrible in it. Her
Ter-
acting
the whole
is
movie's terrible.
But
Even-
it's
isn't
so
Jet Li?
good, though. Like, it's
Is it
so-
Jet Li?
yeah,
He's
Jet
terrible.
Li. He's terrible.
Yeah.
But the action is great.
Yeah.
And it was a cool urban, like,
Yeah.
black Asian story. You don't get that often. How often do
Yeah.
you see, like,
The
a
only-
black girl and an Asian guy in a movie?
The-
You know what I mean?
The only time you've seen that before is the remake of The Karate Kid with
Jaden and Jackie.
Jackie Chan,
Yeah.
and then the woman who played Jaden's mom, who's awesome, and I can't remember her name
I
right
can't
now.
remember her name.
That's terrible, but she was in Empire.
Yeah.
and Date Night. She played a cop in Date Night. Incredible actress.
Yeah, she's good. She's
Yeah.
real good. She's
Yeah.
funny. That's
But yeah, that's the only other time,
that's all
right?
the time, yeah. And
Yeah.
I guess they were actually at the end of Romeo Must Die. I actually just heard this recently. I guess they were gonna have them kiss, but
What?
they did originally shoot it, but I guess it didn't test well.
Really?
So they cut it out, yeah.
But
And that shows you how the times were then too.
if it's a Romeo and Juliet film,
yeah, shouldn't they kiss?
yeah. Well, then again, they should have both died
they
at the end.
should die, both of
Yeah,
them.
yeah. Well,
I do love that final fight scene in that movie where they're fighting in the garden and the fire and shit.
It's been a long time since I've
Dude.
seen it, but you know who loves that film?
Russia.
Yes, of
Of
course.
course. I was
Of course, naturally.
I'm sure she loves that movie. Dude, I
Yes.
watched it. Like, you got to think about it. When it came out, that was 2000.
Yeah.
My mom took me to see it in theaters.
Wow.
So I was like 9.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
For a 9-year-old kid, it was awesome. You
Yeah,
know, I
yeah.
watched it so much. Like when it came out on DVD, we bought that shit. I watched
Yeah.
that shit so much because like around then, I was watching a lot of like action films like that, like because the Matrix influence was so heavy.
Oh yes,
then.
yeah.
So I was watching a bunch of them early 2000s action films all the time. So
God, you're right. The Matrix did.
That influence was so heavy. For the next, like 4 or 5
like
years.
Swordfish.
Yeah, Swordfish was awesome.
Yeah.
Halle Berry.
Oh yes.
Yeah, I was like, whoa! I think everybody was.
Yeah, that was the first time. It was before Monsters Ball.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
She pulled that book down. I was like, okay.
Yeah. Huh.
Yeah. But yeah, that was a good one too. Like that, and that movie did terrible too. But that was another one. Don Cheadle's in that too, right?
I think he might have been. Yeah, because it was Travolta, Hugh Jackman, right after X-Men.
Yeah, I'm like, it was a That's one of the movies I think people should go back and revisit, and they'll probably like a lot more than they did when they saw it.
Because those Matrix like camera angles, I think, are in there.
Yeah,
yeah. The way that they did like the 360,
that
thing,
was everyone was doing that.
Yeah,
that was the thing. They were either copying it or parodying it. You know.
Well, I think I don't know if the director like worked with them, the Wachowski sisters now, or like. You know, there was something I think similar, or they produced maybe Swordfish or something. So there was something similar there. And the guy who directed V for Vendetta, I believe, also worked with them.
Okay, I'll
V for Vendetta because I think they produced V for Vendetta.
That movie,
if I'm not mistaken.
Great.
Yeah,
I can watch that movie anytime.
Remember the 5th of November.
The 5th of November, man, dude. There was a point where I was like. I watched that movie, I think, once a week for like a straight month. I was like, dude, I can't watch V for Vendetta anymore.
You know, that's a comic book movie.
Yeah.
You know who wrote the comic?
Was it Frank Mills?
No.
Who was it?
Think of any other comic book writer other than Frank Miller that you might guess.
Who wrote it? I don't know.
Alan Moore.
Alan Moore wrote, okay.
The guy who did Watchmen.
Yeah.
And he also wrote League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, the comic.
I never read
that became a really terrible movie.
I was like, all I know from that movie is the Sean Connery.
I'm the sexiest Alan Quarterman alive, and you're like, no, you're not. Because I think Richard Chamberlain played him in the '80s. You're not the sexiest Alan Quarterman alive.
That film was,
yeah.
But anywho, guys, sorry, cutting room stuff.
Yeah. Back to Out of Sight.
Yeah, so Out of Sight. One of the outside the. Well, the cast is really
incredible.
I think the heart, like, and soul of the film. Without this cast,
and the chemistry between everybody,
everyone had great chemistry.
Yeah, Don Cheadle,
that weren't supposed
George Clooney,
to like each other.
Ving Rhames,
their little rivalry was great. You know, especially when they're in the house at the end.
Oh my god!
Go watch Foley, man. Go watch Foley.
Oh yeah, he's talking to White Boy Bob.
Yeah, White Boy Bob. What an idiot! What an idiot!
Oh my god,
that's one of his.
Yeah,
that's probably the dumbest character in a Soderbergh movie.
Yes, he was.
He said, "Dude, look at the stakes."
Yeah, it's like, and even they look at him like,
they're
what
like, really? You went right in the fridge. You were supposed to be looking for Foley.
Yeah,
but dude, Isaiah Washington played a creepy character in there.
He was
the way he was with the women and stuff. I was like, oh, bro.
Oh my god. Viola Davis was in.
Oh yeah,
Viola.
Yo,
because she played his sister.
His sister, yeah.
Snoopy's wife.
Snoopy's wife.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know where he's at. Yeah.
I was like, oh my god, it's Viola Davis.
Dude, I'm like, yo, when I was watching that again, I was like, dude.
So many.
She has what a career she's made.
Yeah, and look, Sam Jackson at the end.
Oh, yo, little cameo. Yeah, he comes. Oh,
everyone.
He's gold in that little 2 minutes he's in.
Oh my god!
How many times you escaped from prison?
Yeah, like oh my god! Like everyone, this film, it honestly may be perfect.
It's dude. I'm like, it's hard to say.
Think about how it starts. It starts with like him. Like taking off his tie and throwing it down on the ground, right? And then you find out what happened.
What happens later and why he did that. And you're like, you know what? I would have did the same damn thing. You know?
Yeah, exactly. Because he's getting fucked over.
Getting fucked by this guy. And I'm like, I saved your fucking life.
Yes.
Man. You probably would have died in that bitch.
Yeah.
Or came out an entirely different person, bro.
Yes. Yes, he would have gotten it in the end.
He definitely would have gotten it in the end.
Yes,
if that's what for lack of better phrases.
Yes.
Yeah, he was F that dude. But
and you know what? He robs that bank in the beginning, and he's smooth about it.
So smooth.
Yeah,
and dude, he does. If his freaking car would have started, he would have
gotten away.
Yeah. I'm like, next time, leave the motor running, bro. I'm like,
I think it was a stick shift, and he, the cop says, "I think you flooded it," and I believe that's what happened.
That is definitely what he did.
Yeah, and it's like, oh my god, like as a fan of driving stick, I'm like, no.
Yep. I drive stick, so I'm like, bro, I know it's. I'm driving stick, pretty much my whole driving career. So.
But it was a piece of shit car.
It was a POS. So, yeah, I mean that thing wasn't. Great. But yeah, it's. I would say because I know this isn't a very well-known film, and if you're watching this, you've seen it, then you know. But if you haven't seen it, I recommend this movie times 20. It's the style, the way he plays with time, the way everything connects. If you're an Ocean's fan, this movie will help you understand how Soderbergh got to where he got when it was time to do Oceans. Yeah, because
and I think we might end up cross-referencing it more when we talk about Oceans.
Well, we definitely are. I mean, Jack Foley and Danny Ocean aren't that different.
No, they're pretty much the same dude.
Guy with a different name.
Yeah, because Ocean's 11 almost felt like a sequel.
Yes, it does. And I would just say Danny Ocean is smarter and higher scale than Jack Foley.
And he has... If only Ving Rhames would have been in Ocean's 11.
Dude, they should have...
But he might have been doing Mission Impossible.
He probably was.
Yeah.
He probably was. No knock to Bernie Mac, but they could have definitely threw Ving Rhames in there.
And I would have loved it.
I would have loved it.
Yeah.
And that would have been a nice little different role for him because it would have been a little more comedic.
Yeah.
Don Cheadle and... We'll get
to Oceans. Yeah, we will.
We will get to Oceans.
So an even lesser known film is probably The Limey.
Yeah.
Believe it or not.
Yeah. But we got to grade.
Oh, we have to grade, yes. Out of sight.
Before we move on. So, guys, I'm going to say this. Out of sight... The direction, 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
The writing, 10 out of 10. Characters, acting, chemistry, probably an 11 out of 10. Because the chemistry between the characters.
It oozes off the screen.
It does. Even Vin Rhames and George Clooney, they feel like brothers. They feel like adopted brothers. Dude. They feel
like they've been friends their whole life.
That's why they feel like they've known each other since they were in middle school, elementary school. Like they feel like dudes that they know what each other's thinking. Like
if they only just met on the set of that film, I would be shocked.
Insane.
I would be shocked.
I would say their level of chemistry was Danny Glover, Mel Gibson level.
Oh
They were that level. Their chemistry. They were great.
Yeah.
I was like, if they wanted to just make a movie with these two in it the entire time, I'd watch it. It was
God,
great.
I would have too.
Yeah. Man. So, if for no reason to watch Out of Sight, even if you don't like crime movies, just for the characters.
So you give it like a 31 out of a 30.
I would give it a 31 out of 30.
So it sounds like an A+, right?
I would give Out of Sight an A+.
Yeah.
And I know most people and critics wouldn't give it a score that high.
It won a lot of awards, just not like Academy Awards.
Yeah, it just didn't make
like critics awards and stuff.
But
so that's why.
I'm like, it's incredible. I love it. It's fun. It's funny. It's got a cool romance story in it that doesn't overpower what's actually happening.
Yeah.
There's enough twists and turns in it to keep you guessing and to keep you like, Yeah. And I mean, honestly, it paces perfectly.
Yeah, and even though there's like a lot of flashbacks, it works because it fills in the gaps in the story if you have any questions. And then there's like sobering moments too that ground you, like with Studs, Glenn Michaels, Steve Zahn's character.
He's hilarious.
Like because he's kind of immature and goofy until something happens to sober him up, and then almost the whole tone of the film changes after that.
It does, yeah.
Yeah.
But
because you're kind of like with him, and then suddenly you're like, oh shit.
You're like, dude, I kind of feel this man. Because you're like, this guy's an idiot, but then you kind of start feeling bad for him, like, after you see what's going on with him. It's great. So I pulled this up. So Out of Sight has a 94 on Rotten Tomatoes.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
A 7 on IMDb, which is good. Let me see what it's got on Letterboxd real quick.
Wow.
I'm like, it's insane. On Letterboxd, it has a 3.7 out of 5. So that's a pretty good score. Those are some pretty good scores.
Yeah.
Across the board. Those are all above average scores for sure. So it's like the people who've seen it know.
Yeah.
It's just, I feel like no one's seen it. Like right here, the Letterboxd image, like that gaze.
Oh my God. Yeah. Yeah. Because that's that scene.
That's the scene, dude.
Yeah.
Even they know here and the snow's coming down.
Yeah.
I'm going to definitely, this is a reminder, edit in a photo of this so y'all can see it. So my final score, I'm going to go A+. What are you giving it?
Yeah, I have to give it an A+. Just because ever since I first saw this film, I've just loved it.
Yeah.
Ever since that opening scene, it's like you get hooked.
Yeah.
Because the music is perfect. The way it kind of like stops, like the way he uses like freeze frames,
Yes.
are actually like potent.
His editing.
You wanted to tussle, we tussled.
Yep.
And it's just perfect.
His editing is A1, bro. A1.
And he continued that trend with the Limey.
Yeah. The editing in the Limey is actually, it might be a little bit sharper than Out of Sight. Just because I think he plays with the time narrative even more in this.
Because he had to. Did you read that article?
Yeah.
Where like they did it linearly and people hated it.
Yeah. And I'm like, there's some films
like what?
Like, it's like if you watch Pulp Fiction in order, it might feel weird.
Yeah, I think it would.
It would. It'd be like, Like, some films are meant to be like that. You know, like, if somebody was like, oh, watch Memento in order, I'd be like, no.
Yeah, why would
Why?
you?
That whole appeal is the time. So, the Limey, what was it, Terrence Stamp?
Terrence Stamp.
Sorry.
Yes,
Terrence
no, it's okay. If he was an amputee, he would be Terrence Stamp. He would be. But I don't think he is yet. So
is he still alive?
I believe he has to be.
Yeah, he's probably.
He has to be because he's been around a long time. Because he was Zod in Superman the movie and Superman 2.
Yeah,
he was. So Neil before Stump.
Yeah. So you got Terrence Stamp, Louise Guzman. Who else is in this thing?
Leslie Ann Warren.
Yep. Peter Fonda.
Oh yeah,
my girl's brother.
Yeah, your future brother-in-law.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
I mean, he's gone, but
I'm still gonna say he is in spirit.
Yes, yes.
Oh, I gotta make this happen quick before I'm.
Oh yeah, he's 85.
Damn.
Yeah,
him and Jane Fonda the same.
God,
age.
he looks terrible right now. My God,
he looks like the Crypt Keeper.
He kind of does. My God, but then again, like think about it. So he's 85. So he was like 60.
Like 60, yeah.
But he was looking rough for 60. Yeah,
but
he's like a British 60.
He is a British. Yeah, dude. But he'll live. This dude will live to be 103.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying,
and just look more like the Crypt Keeper.
Yeah, dude. Like look at Michael Caine. Michael Caine's looked old forever.
He has.
Yeah,
right.
Michael Caine's looked
ever
old
since
like 30.
Ever since like Blame It on Rio.
Yeah, like he's always
and Jaws.
Old.
4. Jaws the Revenge. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Like, he is in that.
He is. Oh my God. I'm Michael Caine.
Sir Michael Caine.
Yeah, sir.
Yeah.
My God.
I love him, bro.
Yeah.
Makes me sick he's not an Oppenheimer, but I guess there was no room for a Brit. But
yeah, probably not.
Like, I know he was like, Chris, bro, what's good?
You don't do accents.
He's
buddy.
like, listen, bro, unless you gonna pull out the American, he's like, I refuse. You know, he's like, he ain't gonna do it. He can go play Austin Powers' dad again. But
that's right, he
did. Isn't that funny, dude?
Yeah,
Nigel Powers,
just like John Lithgow played Fat Amy's dad in the Pitch Perfect movie.
Perfect,
yeah. So.
Rebel Wilson's funny as hell, bro.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry, I apologize. Yeah. So the Limey. What did you think of the Limey? Because you'd never seen it before.
Yeah, I'd never seen this my first time. I thought the Limey was good. It's not one of his best pictures, but I thought it was good, especially for an early film from him. I thought the screenplay was very well written.
And once again, the music, and even like when it starts up with The Seeker by The Who.
Yeah.
As soon as he like steps off the plane or whatever and is like, because you know he's seeking something.
Yes.
I mean, literally, but it's, it's just incredible.
What I really liked about this film, though, is the element of mystery around the lead. You learn stuff about him as it goes. Yeah, you learn stuff about him as it goes. But even by the end, he's still super mysterious. You're still like, God, there's so much more I would like to know about this character.
Yeah.
Because obviously we know he was a hardened criminal.
Yes.
He talks about a couple of his stints in jail.
Yeah, and he obviously doesn't mind killing.
He has no problems killing.
No.
Especially, the scene where he goes to the warehouse.
Oh
my God. That's one of the best scenes.
Fucko.
Yeah.
That like Jack Dante from Clerks.
Yeah.
That's what that dude looked like, right?
He did.
Like
him. That's funny.
Yeah. And I was like, what?
I just watched Clerks 3 the other day.
Oh my God.
Good. So good. But I was like, that's funny you say that because like his face is fresh in my head.
Yeah.
So, but one thing I like right off the beginning, you see Louise Guzman. And him and Terrence Stamp have a great chemistry in that. And that's a very unlikely pairing.
I just love that scene where they meet, where Terrence Stamp is like, he's like Edward Rowe, and he's like Eduardo Roel.
Yeah.
Like he corrects him with the accent, and I'm like, two guys with accents meeting, mispronouncing.
Yeah, like
and, but it's perfect.
Though.
Yeah, and it
like,
works.
That's how it would be if a Brit and a Spanish guy met,
Yeah, and he helps him because look, they buy the guns from those teenagers at the playground, right? Which is crazy.
I was like, dude, what? That's where you're going to go? Okay.
Yeah, but I guess in that neighborhood, that's where.
That's what I'm saying. In the hood, like
that,
mean, you go where you can get them. And Louise, like, you could tell his character genuinely felt bad for him.
Yeah, because he was friends with his daughter. With her, so
the whole time I'm thinking Luis Guzman I'm thinking he might be like have an ulterior motive, or he was like.
But he's the guy who wrote to him to tell him.
Yeah, but I was like, I wonder if there's like. He's trying to set this guy up for something.
No, I think he just thought he should know.
No, yeah, but then I'm like, no, he's genuine. Just cared.
Yeah. Because he was friends with Wilson's daughter, who Wilson's daughter dies mysteriously. Even though it doesn't seem mysterious, but he thinks it's mysterious. Luis Guzman's character, Eduardo Roel, and Wilson thinks it also. So once he gets out of jail, he comes to the States to find out what happened to his daughter, who he hasn't seen, I assume, in a long time.
How many years did they say? 9?
Well, he said 9, but it could have been more than that because we don't know. His last stint in prison was just 9 years.
Yeah.
So we don't really know.
I guess from what it seemed like
because if
he probably saw her right before. I'm sure he saw her recently before he went to jail.
Yeah, maybe.
From what I'm thinking. He's in all those flashbacks where they show her on the phone pretending to call the cops. It seemed like she was getting a little older as they were showing some more. So I'm like, it could be more than 9 years, but if it is more, I'd probably say no more than 1 or 2.
Yeah.
So maybe 10, 11 years, maybe 12.
Yeah.
But I mean, that is a long time. I mean, because his daughter, how old was she supposed to be? Did they ever say?
No, they never do.
But she's easily like maybe 25.
If that, maybe like 30 at the most.
At the most. So if she's...
Because we don't really know...
20s, man.
But we don't even really know when she died.
Yeah.
Like during his stint in jail, it's just we know sometime when he was in jail, she died.
Yeah, because it could have... I feel like it probably happened more recently than not.
Yeah.
Because everything still seemed pretty fresh. Everyone still remembered everything. And like everything felt fresh. So I'm going to say, I would say probably no more than 3 to 6 months, maybe.
Maybe.
All right. Because like even Luis Guzman's character, he still seemed like
he was
torn up about it. And everyone, like even Peter Fonda's character, he still loved her.
Yeah, because he had her picture.
Yeah. It still seemed fresh to him. Like he had his new girl or whatever, but that was a placeholder, bro. He was still thinking about her.
It was a rebound.
Bro.
Yeah.
He was definitely on his Dennis Rodman. So
and like I think you're right about Guzman's character because think about when they went to that party at Valentine's house.
That's one of the best parts when he throws the dude off.
He headbutts him and like throws him over the railing.
That was one of the best parts. Everybody's like, "Oh, how'd it happen?" I'm like, that's funny. But anyway, go on.
Oh yeah, because it's like they're both standing on that outside terrace, and Terrence Stamp Wilson is looking over, and he's like, "What are we standing on?" And Guzman's like, "Trust."
Yeah.
That's like, wow. But I think it was more like, even though he said that about where they were at that time, I think it was their relationship too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because they trusted each other inherently because they both loved someone who was gone and wanted to know what happened to them.
They both wanted to know.
Yeah.
And it was cool because there was no romance. You got her dad and a genuine friend.
Yes.
You know what I mean? This is we just want to know.
Yeah.
There wasn't no...
Yeah, you're right. It wasn't a romantic film at all.
No, it wasn't. Like
nothing.
There's no. This film doesn't have a romance in it, like Out of Sight did, or even Ocean's 11, which we'll get to later.
Yeah.
Because romance is actually a big part of Oceans. Is about the relationship between Julia and Brad. George.
Yeah,
because she's the centerpiece of the film. She's the centerpiece of the rivalry between.
He's the reason he wants to do everything.
He wants to do it. Yeah. So we'll get there.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're both of their care for this girl was genuine. It was real emotions because when love's involved, love makes people act and think irrationally.
Yeah.
But romantic love is what I mean. Because obviously there was love there. But when you love someone genuinely, you always think more critically. So I think that's what helped both of them in getting to the bottom of certain things. They found stuff out rather quickly.
Oh, yeah. And think about Nikki Katz's character, Stacy, that hitman.
Mm-hmm. Oh, he was
incredible.
He was incredible.
Incredible. Yeah. Especially when they're staking out that like set and he's just like trashing everybody.
That scene is hilarious, bro. I was like, yo, this dude's hilarious. Is he wearing a wig?
He must have been, because he was okay in The Dark Knight. Remember when Gordon is disguised as the cop and driving the truck, and there's that other cop next to him that's freaking the fuck out?
Yeah,
that's Nicky Katt.
Holy crap!
But he also played a teacher in the show Boston Public.
I never saw that.
Like a early 2000s David E. Kelly show on Fox that I think Rashida Jones was in when she was young.
She was young, yeah.
Yeah, she was really young.
That's a young role for her.
I think she played a secretary at the school. Okay. But he was one of the teachers. I think I saw him in that first, and then I saw the Limey.
Okay.
And I'm like, wow, this dude is incredible.
Jones she had to be like, what, 20?
Early 20s, like, yeah.
She's not that old now.
No.
That's crazy. But his character was great, especially when the dude goes to him in the bar to tell him, like, I need you to handle this.
Yeah.
I like how he was like, I don't give a fuck about you rich guys, bro. I don't care. I do what I do, because I want to do it. I was like,
and he's like, you need to wear a tie.
Yeah, he did need to wear a tie. I actually agree. When he said that, he's like, put on a fucking tie. I was like, you should put a tie on.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, who are you to come in here and talk down to me when you want me to do something for you? I'm like, something you clearly can't get done.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's.
Oh, and dude, Bill Duke is in this movie.
He is in this movie.
Bill Duke.
I was like, yo, Bill Duke in here. Yeah, so
oops, there go my hilarious. Slippery hands again.
So let's actually talk about that scene.
Yeah.
So Bill Duke's like a cop. Was he DEA?
DEA, yeah.
So he's DEA, and he's questioning Wilson about these people, and Wilson's totally confused about who this guy is. He thinks he's someone totally different.
And he's saying all this bullshit to him. Yeah. And Bill Duke is like, there's one thing I don't understand. The one thing I don't understand is every fucking word that just came out of your mouth. But the way he says it.
Yeah, it's because Bill Duke,
And what were we talking about him?
Yeah, we were talking about Deep Cover.
Oh, yeah, he directed it. That's right.
About Predator.
Yes. And Commando. He was in Commando. Yeah. You can't go wrong with Bill Duke, believe it or not. It sounds crazy, but it's true.
It's true. He plays, and if you need like a stoic kind of like, but still tough guy, he's perfect, man.
Yeah.
He was so perfect in that scene because Wilson's just saying all this ridiculous stuff to him and telling him about his stints in jail.
Yeah.
He's like, well, that was when I got out of jail the second time.
Yes.
And it's like just going on, and he's just listening.
Yeah.
And it's one of those situations. If you let someone talk long enough, they'll end up telling you everything you need to know.
Yeah. So he just let Wilson know where to find Valentine.
Yeah. And he was like, that part was great. But
I forgot, Bill Duke.
Duke. I think that was one of the main things I liked about the film was honestly just watching Terrence Stamp ride around figuring stuff out.
Yeah.
Those are some of the best moments in the film. Because one of my biggest issues with the movie was the ending. Although I liked the ending, it felt inconclusive to me.
Well, he found out what he wanted to know.
He did, but it felt like he didn't get any kind of revenge.
But I think
he got peace of mind.
I think the revenge was like he ended up doing inadvertently by trying to find out what he wanted to find out.
He did eliminating
what his daughter was trying to do.
He did,
which was stopping the drug
trade.
Yeah.
He did. But it was like, it feels like if he would have had it his way, he probably would have did it differently.
He would have.
How it played out.
But Jenny wouldn't have wanted him to kill him.
She wouldn't have.
I don't know if she would have wanted him to kill all the other guys, but probably not.
Maybe
probably
Jenny,
not.
After all they did her, maybe she would have been like, what, Dad,
kill all these MFs.
Kill these assholes,
right?
Yeah. And I felt bad for Peter Fonda at the end.
Really?
And I felt like I shouldn't have.
Because
I felt bad because this is one I know you guys probably like. Not everyone has seen this, so I'm not gonna spoil the very, very end. But Peter Fonda's character, some things happen to him, and it's like, and on one hand, it feels like, yes, he deserves this, but then on another, you do feel bad for him because he was a man trying to keep up appearances and keep himself alive.
Yeah, keep his lifestyle.
Yes, and he was also caught up in ways that if he didn't do certain things, he would have got killed himself.
Yeah, and he didn't know how to get out of it.
And he didn't. And it's like, and he genuinely did love this dude's daughter.
Yeah.
I know he did based on the way he reacted when she was brought up.
Yeah.
On the way he reacted, like he had the picture still.
Yes,
she wasn't just some girl he slept with.
Yeah.
She loved him, and that's why she cared so much about what he was doing.
And that's why he didn't kill him.
Yeah.
I just realized because I watched it again the other day.
Well, he's still...
No, you know why he didn't kill him? Because Peter Fonda told him why he did what he did that ended up with her death, right?
He did.
And what Wilson realized while Valentine was telling him the story, he realized that she did to Valentine what she always did to him, which meant that she loved him.
The phone.
You're right. That's how he knew. So he's like, if she really loved him, how could I kill him or do to him what I want to do? Because that is not what she would have wanted because she loved him.
Yeah.
And I think he cared more for Jenny in the end than he did for his own feelings towards the situation and whatever.
Because you know what, you are right about that. Because I think in his investigations, he learned, although I was a total POS father, I didn't teach this girl probably anything good. She ended up being a quite good person.
Because remember, at the very end of the film, they intersplice scenes from an old Terrence Stamp film from the 60s to show him when he was younger with his buddies and all this. And he's sitting there playing guitar, and it's to the tune, I think, of a Donovan song called Colors, but he's singing something different. And he's like, freedom is a word I often use, and something like that. And basically, it's like he says he thinks about the times when he was loved. And I think the only time he ever really felt loved was when his daughter
them phone calls
cared enough to try to rat him out to get him to change his lifestyle so he would be around more.
Yep.
And he realized she was trying to do the same thing for Terry Valentine, and he didn't realize
He didn't know.
Like, he didn't love her enough to realize that's how she showed her love, to try to get him to change so he would be around.
Yeah, and
for her.
And that's kind of why I felt a little bit bad for Peter Fonda's character, because I'm like,
he was too shallow to realize it.
Yeah, he just didn't get it.
He was stuck in 66, 67.
Yeah, he was. His whole look.
His whole vibe,
definitely stuck.
Because that girl says he's a vibe.
Yeah, he felt like Easy Rider.
He was talking about motorcycles and stuff too.
Motorcycles. He was talking about old movies and shit. So he was totally a vibe. Now that we broke that down, I think I do appreciate the ending a little more than I did on the initial viewing. So I will take that into consideration.
We should have gotten a sequel. Like in that article, Soderbergh says, when they're driving up and Wilson's talking about the guys he thought were his mates weren't. He was going to go back and hunt them down. And that would have been a great film that I would have watched over and over again.
Yeah, and that, and you could have went a lot of directions with that.
Directed by Guy Ritchie, I would have watched it.
Yeah.
Especially if it's a British.
Super British. Super British.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
Especially at that time. It would have been amazing.
Yeah, late 90s. He's coming off like Lock, Stock, Snatch. And
Snatch,
all that.
God,
yeah. So, I think a cool concept would have been him getting out, looking for these guys, and possibly finding out they all were dead, but learning something along the way and hunting each of them down.
Yeah.
Because it could follow a similar beat to the Limey.
Yeah, because he grew by the end of the film.
By the end,
emotionally.
Emotionally. And I'm like, you could take that same approach. Because if you wanted to go revenge narrative, I feel like that would need to be first film. And then emotional narrative would need to be second. Because going revenge after he's emotionally grown would feel like he's taking a step backwards.
You know what? Yeah, you're right. Maybe that's why they never did it.
Maybe that's why I never did it.
Yeah.
Because maybe he's like, man, I want to go this one more action based. And it's like, but he wouldn't be that type of guy this time around.
Yeah, no, because he's now, it's kind of like the Grinch at the end of the Grinch,
Yeah,
his heart is open.
Christmas no more.
Yeah,
yeah. So what? So the Limey, that was. Yeah, I think we. If you've never seen the Limey, if you've ever been confused, I think we just solved it for you.
Yeah, yeah. And the thing is, it's a great film, and the narrative is so nonlinear. It goes back and forth, but it fills in the gaps like out of sight does in the same way. But I think the Limey might do it more.
It might do it more
and better because it had to.
It had no choice.
Yeah,
because you couldn't. Because like you just said, if it was like the article said, if I watched that in order. It would have lost a lot of steam.
Yeah, it would have been because he builds it up in a way, and with the flashbacks and intercutting things like he did with Out of Sight, like having dialogue overlap, having like him on the plane, but also in the hotel room with the shower running, and all these different things happening at once. It's almost like you realize then that the whole time he's probably in the plane going back to England, remembering everything.
This, yeah.
And your memories aren't in order.
Yeah, you jump around your memory all the time. Yeah. You're right.
Your memories came to get down. So they jump around.
Jump around.
Yeah, jump up and get down. Yeah. Classic. That's what they do, man.
So what's your Limey grade?
Believe it or not, I would give it an A.
Okay.
Just because I think like the editing is a breakthrough, I believe.
It is.
And even the performances for honestly almost like a guerrilla independent film.
It is kind of guerrilla style film with it.
And it's in a way it's almost as perfect as Out of Sight, just not as polished.
Yeah. Out of Sight is polished though.
Yeah, because the budget wasn't there.
It wasn't there.
But like
and of course
the heart's there.
The heart is there.
Yeah.
But it's just I will say this, Out of Sight just has a better cast of actors.
Oh yeah, of course, so naturally,
It's like
Peter Fonda is no Jane Fonda. Let's put it that way.
Peter ain't Jane.
Yeah, and he's no Henry Fonda either.
Henry either. That's what I was like. Look, he was the lesser of the Fondas.
Yeah,
but still good.
He's no Bridget Fonda either.
Not Bridget. Yeah,
even Bridget Fonda's a great actress. Yeah,
dude.
Singles.
Jackie Brown, Singles.
Oh, she was in Jackie Brown. That's right.
Jackie Brown, bro. She played Sam Jackson's girlfriend.
And she was in the remake of another Luc Besson film, the remake of La Femme Nikita. She was in the American version.
Yes, she is.
Yeah, and I forgot.
That movie's awesome.
Yeah, I forgot Luc Besson did that before The Professional.
Was it 93 too?
It might have been like 91 or 92, maybe.
90 or
because it's before Leon.
Yeah, it's before Leon.
Yeah.
Oh man, Luc Besson, he had a run, man.
Is it Point of No Return? Is that what it is? Is that the remake? Yeah.
I think that is what
Look, Singles, Point of No Return, Jackie Brown.
Jackie Brown, dude.
And then she retired. She married Danny Elfman.
She married Elfman, yeah. Now she's like listening to scores all day.
Yeah, and that's all she has to do.
Sounds like crap. She said, Tim Burton ain't going to take this crap.
Yeah, go back to Oingo Boingo.
Right? So I watched one of their videos.
Was it Dead Man's Party, their best song?
Dude, I was laughing so hard. I had no idea Danny Elfman was in a band.
Yeah, dude, Oingo Boingo is incredible. Dead Man's Party is probably their best song.
Yes.
And if you're going to watch a video for Dead Man Party, just watch Back to School with Rodney Dangerfield.
Oh my God,
they're in it.
In so long.
They're the band in the room that play. That's the song they play.
I'm gonna have to. I haven't seen Back to School since I was probably like 7 years old.
Incredible.
And I want to watch Caddyshack too. I haven't seen that.
Oh my! Hey everybody, we're all gonna get laid. That's how I felt. Honestly, that's how I felt when Trump ran for president in 2016. I felt like that was his pitch to America, like Rodney Dangerfield from Caddyshack. Hey everybody, we're all gonna get laid. And everyone's okay. Because, like, he didn't really offer anything else. And that's what it reminded me of, right? That kind of...
offering to make America great again, sir.
Sure. How about just making it great for everybody? Anyway, that was a little aside. But anyway, we're all going to get laid.
Yeah.
That's all that matters. Yeah, Caddyshack is great.
It's great.
Easy Money. Did you ever see Easy Money? Rodney Dangerfield, Joe Pesci.
I've never seen that.
Dude, you got to see Easy Money.
I got to see it.
Just remind me, because it's one of Felicia's favorites. I might be able to find it.
D somewhere?
Yeah. Because she loves that movie to death.
She's got some funny ones.
Dude, Rodney Dangerfield is like a baby photographer. And his daughter's getting married.
That's already funny.
I think Jennifer Jason Leigh plays his daughter.
Really?
It might be the first thing she did after Fast Times.
I was like, that's got to be
early. It's early 80s.
Yeah.
Joe Pesci probably right after Raging Bull.
I was like, that's probably fresh off Raging Bull.
Yeah, I think it is. And what does he do? He does a Rodney Dangerfield movie.
A Rodney Dangerfield movie.
Yeah.
Then comes back hard with Lethal 2.
Oh my god.
He actually had an interesting 80s career.
Yeah.
Because, like, outside of Raging Bull...
Oh, and then Home Alone.
Home Alone. That's what he did Home Alone in the early 90s. He did that after Goodfellas.
Yeah.
Like, that's insane.
And after Lethal Weapon 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was what? Leo Getz.
Leo Getz.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
That, dude, Lethal Weapon 2 is, like... That's up there with, like, The Empire Strikes Back or Terminator 2 as far as sequels go.
Oh, the Cougarans and stuff, right?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Dude, love them.
Yeah.
Diplomatic Immunity.
That was the first film that I remember. It just started and the credits were at the end of the film.
Yeah, because, like, back in the day, the credits took up first 15 minutes of a film, 30 minutes.
That was 89, and that's the same summer as, like, Batman. Ghostbusters 2... Last Crusade.
Damn, what a summer!
Yeah,
that was blockbuster,
dude. Weekend at Bernie's came out that summer.
If I was alive in '89, I would have been at the movies, bro.
I think Born on the 4th of July came out that year.
You know my man Tom.
Yeah.
Damn.
Although he was actually born on the 3rd of July.
He was born on the 3rd, right?
Whatever.
He actually is like
close.
It's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
I'm shocked he didn't legally change his birthday.
Yeah.
He got enough money too. That's for damn sure.
Yeah.
But so guys, I'm gonna give the Limey a solid B or B plus. I did enjoy it. It's a great film. It's Soderbergh, you know.
Yeah. And as an independent film.
A B Soderbergh film is probably better than most A directors' films.
Yes.
So
that's true.
Me giving it a B,
that is true,
isn't me saying I didn't love it because I did like it a lot. I laughed. It was pretty funny. There's some funny parts in it I did laugh at. But
was it better than David Lynch's Dune? That's really the question.
Bro, I watched the Limey 25 times before I watched the first 15 minutes of Dune again.
Wow.
Oh my God. What an abomination.
I'm so sorry.
I had to though.
We had
to discuss it.
Did you hear? I think.
Yeah, we got pushed.
Let's sorry.
Not even talk about it.
I think it's because of the strike, though. They want to. They just want to have something for next year.
So I found that out right after I left your house last week. My boy called me and was like, "Damn, bro,
wow,
it's happening." I was like,
"Wow."
I was like, "Great," and then he sent me the article. I was like, "I'm not even going to read this."
I found out the other day, and I was like, "Wow, that's terrible." Because I was looking forward to it.
It was like, dude, the trailer looks. My man Austin Butler about to come in here going crazy.
So that means that we're probably going to have to wait even longer then for Beyond the Spider-Verse.
Bro.
Because they're going to try to... Because I think they put off Kraven, which I was sort of excited about, but not really. And I know they're doing like Venom 3 also.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so... Because the Venom movies are surprisingly good.
Surprisingly good.
Yeah, Tom Hardy puts it all in.
He does. I love Tom Hardy.
Yeah.
Napoleon's probably going to get pushed too then.
Yeah.
You know, Joaquin and Ridley Scott.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate.
Because I think the article I read said that the only good thing about Dune being pushed is that it might give Oppenheimer more Oscar
love. Yeah.
Yeah.
I already have it in my head that the only other film coming out this year that I think is going to be able to compete with that is probably Killers of the Flower Moon, the new Martin Scorsese.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You know, it's obviously Marty, Leonardo DiCaprio, Robert De Niro, and Brendan Fraser.
Oh, really? Brendan Fraser?
Banger, yes.
Wow.
You know, some people have already seen it.
Yeah.
And they're like...
Is it on Netflix like The Irishman was?
It's going to be an Apple TV boy.
Oh, okay.
So I might need you to...
yeah, I actually have Apple TV.
Oh, okay. Well,
yeah.
Okay, then. Well,
yeah, so believe it or not, because Felicia... It's something when she got like her Apple Watch or her iPhone or whatever. Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, it's part of the deal.
I might need that from you.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, you'll be able to watch it.
It comes out on my birthday.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, because my birthday's on Friday.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, because then Ren Fair.
Yeah, craziness.
Yeah.
So I'm like, dude. What a birthday gift. New Scorsese, bro. Come on.
And Brendan Fraser, man.
Leo. Robert, man.
Dude, Brendan Fraser, believe it or not, I may have said this before, I don't remember. Robot Man in Doom Patrol is what really, I think, the Renaissance, that's when it started. And, like, I think people didn't realize, one, that he was still around.
Yeah.
Like, he never stopped acting.
Yeah.
Because he was doing, I think there was... like the Alamo, it may not have been the Alamo, but it was some like TV film on the History Channel about something like that. He was in, and he was doing all sorts of stuff.
Anything he could because of his divorce or whatever.
Yeah, that's what.
Take work.
Yeah, and you know what? He never stopped working.
No.
and he took care of his kids. You know, he's a stand-up guy, and he's a great actor.
And now he's standing up with a big golden statue on his mantle. Can't do it. All right, guys. So
sorry, a little
you know
aside.
how it goes.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and talk about
Classic
11. Ocean's 11.
Yes.
This film
22 years ago.
22. That's what I was like. What was it? 2001?
Yeah, it was the end of 2001.
Yep. You can't even mention this film without just talking about the freaking scroll of stars. And,
oh my God, yeah.
Everybody, a bunch of people who are superstars now are in this film.
Yeah.
Young.
Yeah, like Carl Reiner.
Yeah. Young. Yeah.
Ellie Gould.
Ellie. Hey, that was his first movie. I love Ellie Gould though, man. California Split. Great film.
MASH.
MASH. Hell yeah.
Yes.
Dude, him and Robert Altman.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
But you got a young Matt Damon. This is pre-born, right? Or this
it was
the same year.
Born, I think, may have been 02.
Yeah,
might have been,
you're right. Born 1 is 02.
Yeah, so it's like right after Saving Private Ryan. And right after Good Will Hunting, the Oscar winner.
Talented Mr. Ripley.
Yeah, the Talented Mr. Ripley. He's
coming off like, this was like one of because Matt Damon's probably like 4th lead, 5th. Like, he's not even like the main guy.
Yeah, because look, it's George Clooney, Brad Pitt,
dude,
Julia Roberts, Andy Garcia.
Then you even got a young Scott Conn and
Casey Affleck. Yeah,
I'm like, and dude, Casey Affleck has an Oscar now.
All
these dudes are like, these are all big. Bernie Mac, rest in peace.
Oh yeah, Bernie Mac.
You got a lot of big names in here who all had great careers or still have great careers.
Yeah, my God.
So I'm like, that cast is insane. So Ocean's 11 follows Danny Ocean, played by George Clooney, who is yet again in jail.
Yes.
Steven Soderbergh is like, if you're going to be in my movie, George, you're going to be locked up.
You know what I think it is? It's what we talked about before, or you said before, how Sergio Leone loved to like mess up Clint's face, right? Uh-huh. That's the only way that Soderbergh could mess up George Clooney's face.
He's like, put him in jail.
Give him a mugshot.
Yeah, mugshot, put him in jail. Yeah, because how else do you mess up his face without actually messing up his face?
Yeah,
It's like, it's crazy. But he's in jail and he's getting out, and the game has changed a little bit. He was an old back in the day. He had a crew he ran jobs with. He was a successful criminal. And of course, like all criminals, they eventually are probably going to get canned at some point.
Yeah.
But he wants to set up a job when he gets out, so he gets the band back together. But he has an ulterior motive to the job. Of course, he wants the money.
Oh, yeah, because he wants to screw over the guy.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But the guy he wants
Terry Benedict, right?
Terry Benedict.
Yeah.
Who has his girl, Tess, played by one of my 3 J's in history, Julia Roberts.
Yes.
Who was another Soderberghian chick.
Yeah, that's true. Right after Aaron Brockovich.
Yeah. They've worked together 4 or 5 times now.
Yeah,
Yeah, she was another one, a big Soderberghian. Julia Roberts, although her character is quite minimal in this film, she's the centerpiece of the movie.
Yeah, her shadow is over everybody.
Over everything. Everyone,
especially when Rusty, Brad Pitt's character, figures it out. He's like, tell me this is not about
her. But it's Julia Roberts. it's about her.
Yeah.
I'm like, you think I'm gonna let her go? I'll die first. She's one of the most legendary. Dude, Julia Roberts is one of the most legendary chicks we've ever had.
Mystic Pizza,
Satisfaction, Steel Magnolias.
Oh yeah, Steel Magnolias.
Dude, I love Mystic Pizza, bro. I love that.
Hey, look, Matt Damon's in Mystic Pizza.
Is he?
Yeah, he's super young in that movie.
I gotta watch
him, and I think Vincent D'Onofrio.
Holy hell! Mystic Pizza's what, 89?
88, I think.
That's an old boy.
So Matt Damon could have been in diapers for all we know.
Right? Crazy. But I mean, dude, and then Pretty Woman just
took
off, man. But Julia's obviously great because I think Soderbergh's got more out of her than any other director.
Honestly, I believe he did because just from Aaron Brockovich.
Aaron Brockovich alone showed everyone that she's more than a pretty face.
Yeah.
They showed her.
She's more than a pretty woman.
Pretty woman, yes.
Yes.
She is that. But so Tess is really the centerpiece of this because Terry Benedict is now with Tess, and Tess is George's ex-wife, and Terry Benedict is so rich that
he owns three
he
casinos,
owns 3 casinos
in
Vegas and 3 of the biggest ones in Vegas.
Yes.
Dude's probably a billionaire.
Yeah.
If not a billionaire, at least a high 100 millionaire.
Yeah.
So the dude's incredibly rich. I think they do say he was worth like 800 million.
Something like that.
They say
yeah.
he's worth 800 million.
Yeah,
And so he will be a billionaire probably within the next 10 years. So so he
actually, with the money that they stole, he would have been a billionaire.
Yeah. So his casinos, he has 3 casinos and they all share the same vault in Vegas underground. And George comes up with a brilliant plan to steal said money. And we're not going to get into the details on how they do it, maybe a little bit, but it's not about how they do it.
Yeah, but you have to see it for yourself in the film.
Yourself. That's what I'm like, we can explain it and like it won't make sense because there's a lot revealed throughout that you don't see. It's like that's why like
that's what makes it brilliant.
That's why Oceans feels like a out of sight sequel almost.
Yes.
Because it's like there's so much in Out of Sight. The title's perfect because there's so much out of sight you don't see what's going on. You see later on.
Yes,
like,
you're right.
Oh, and Steven really kicks that style back up in Oceans. And honestly, all the Oceans movies, if you watch them, there's always twists and stuff. But this one has an originality to it that just it's honestly one of the best heist movies ever made.
Yeah, and the flashbacks only tell you how they were able to do it.
Just what you need to know. They're not because you're like, well, what? How? Who? Huh? Especially at the end, you know, when Rusty starts really making the moves to push the heist along, and you're like, what? I wouldn't have done that. And then you're like, oh, and then you're like, oh, and then you like, there's so I don't even want to say anything.
Because everything is so perfect.
It is. I'm like, wow, like the writing for this was just sensational.
And the direction too, because once again, like in Out of Sight, it's the chemistry between all the characters,
all of them, and there's so many in here.
And look, I mentioned Carl Reiner and Elliot Gould; they're obviously the elder statesmen, and like the chemistry between them and Clooney,
young people,
and Brad Pitt, because Brad Pitt is the one who goes to Carl Reiner first, and them talking, it's like
at the horse track.
Yes, my god,
bro, that's such a good scene.
Like Brad Pitt's character, I think, might be the best
He's
one.
The best character in the movie.
Yeah, because he is just it's just incredible. Smooth.
He's the glue, really.
He is.
You would think it's Danny, but it's not. Because think about it, even with the Asian kid, he's the only one who can speak to him.
You're right.
Because he speaks the language.
Yes, you're right.
And they're like, he's like, oh, he said this, and they're like, oh, really? Yeah. And he just knows how to communicate with everyone.
Yeah.
He like how he is in the poker games when he's showing the celebrities how to play.
Oh my god, that is
so great.
And they're playing themselves.
Grace, Topher Grace and
Barry Watson,
Joshua Jackson.
Yeah,
I'm like
Shane West,
some like early 2000 stars.
And that girl from Charm.
She played
Piper?
Yeah. I was like one of the P's.
Yeah, they're all P's.
Oh, the only one I remember was Alyssa Milano. She was Alyssa. I like Shannon Doherty too. She was great. Mallrats.
Oh yeah,
Like, she'll always be the chick from Mallrats. You know.
That's right. Brody's
chick.
Yeah.
So remember when I did the striptease to the thing for Mighty Mouse? Like, he was probably like. But anyway, so Brad Pitt's character is the glue, I think, between all of them because we'll say this, there's a scene where after he finds out Tess is involved in this, he's pissed off and he's like, you know what, Danny, you're out. And everyone else is still in. Yeah. They're like, we're still in. We're not going nowhere.
Yeah, because we did all this planning.
They're like, all right, just because he's out don't mean we are. And it's
it's more of a cut for us.
It is, but they still needed Danny.
Of course.
Because, he's Danny. He pops up, like when he pulls up on Matt Damon coming out the vent. I was like, oh, so perfect. The perfect way to reintroduce him. Yeah. Or when he's in the room and his friend comes to beat him up. That's so great. That's one of the best parts. Like
how they time everything.
It's dude.
Amazing.
I feel like Soderbergh, if he didn't like almost want to commit suicide editing these films, he's a freaking genius because this would drive me up a wall. I'd have. Oh my god, the way this film is edited, is probably some of the best editing of the early 2000s because it really kind of shifted the style of editing.
Yeah.
You know, I'd say Oceans and Memento were really two films that showed people the power of editing with minimalism. Because Nolan made Memento with no money. It's a very minimal movie. There's not much in it.
But
the power of that editing is what brings the film to life. And of course, he had a little bit of money for Oceans. Still, a lesser editor, Oceans would have just been an average film. With a bunch of superstars in it.
Yeah, you know what? You're right. And once again, David Holmes did the music.
Dude, the music's
so
incredible.
Same guy is Out of Sight. So it's like
it's even more perfect for Oceans. I think.
It gives
it's
it
got that Vegas casino-y vibe, but that's still like air of mystery yet playful.
Yes,
it's kind of hard to describe in a way.
Because like when they're moving, the music moves with them.
Yes. It's playful, yet it can be serious when it needs to. The film is scored to perfection. It really is. It's scored to perfection. And all like we were saying, all the characters, like we talked about Brad and George a little bit. Elliot Gould's character, he's kind of like
he hates Terry Benedict.
Yeah, so he's down to do the impossible.
He's like, sure, he bought one of my casinos and blew it up.
And blew it up and F me over, so F him.
Yeah.
And even though he knows this is probably suicide mission's gonna fail, he's still down to ride. You know?
Yeah.
And he's kind of almost like the grandfather of the bunch, kind of holding like he's almost a gluey type character too.
Yeah.
Is he's the one who's kind of
like financing
it and telling them the info. Everyone is needed here. Every character, there's no character that's out of place. And some of the best characters are two you don't hear from that much. Casey Affleck and Scott Conn.
Oh yeah,
they're freaking hilarious.
And they play. I say they play like 4 or 5 different characters, but they have to keep changing costumes and doing different things.
And that's what's so funny. Is that there's times you see
they
just throw the balloons, or when they just throw costumes in the elevator, they have to change so fast.
Yes.
Their introduction is even great when they're racing the toy car and the real truck and he runs it over. Because they're like brothers, right? Brothers, They don't look like they'd ever be related.
No, not at all.
No. But they were great, and then of course, Don Cheadle. Freaking
Basher.
Hilarious. The British accent.
Yeah.
The way he's so goofy and silly. He's like, oh, we're all gonna be in Rebel. And they're like, what? Rebel! Trouble!
Yeah. And did you notice the same thing in the Limey? He kept trying to say stuff, and then he'd have to say what he meant.
Which is funny. That's like how it would actually be if you were with someone who spoke totally different slang than you. Because like British slang is weird.
And it's a holdover from the Limey, like because that's where it started. Because he's talking to that guy in the warehouse. That's like, what are you saying?
That's so funny. And when Brad Pitt comes to like get him out of going to jail. So funny.
My God.
He's like, hey, I need you to find Griggs. He's like, who? Just find him, will you?
It's like after Tyler Durden, it might be Brad Pitt's best character.
That's one of Brad Pitt's dude.
Because we can't talk about Tyler Durden.
Booth.
I'm sorry.
One of my favorites.
Okay, let's just say from the early 2000s,
hold on,
late 90s.
Dude. Brad has played way too many good characters for us to even like. Because, all right, so you got Tyler, you got Rusty. Dude, think about, like, his character in, obviously, some of the newer ones. Like, did you watch Bullet Train?
No, I haven't.
Dude, he's amazing in that. Cliff Booth. Dude, Interview with a Vampire.
Oh, yeah, with your buddy.
Such a good character.
Like Louis, right?
Yeah. Dude, he was, he has so many good characters, dude. I love Brad. Brad is dude, I even love him in, like, Troy, like Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
He was good in Mr. and Mrs.
He plays
Smith.
some good characters.
He's a great actor, and it's terrible. It took, I think, Fight Club for me to realize that.
It did.
Oh, yeah, and even in Snatch.
Oh, my God, Snatch is easily one of his best. The accent, dude. Like, even Benjamin Button. Good character. He played, like...
Well, that's another Fincher film.
Yeah, it is. Fincher.
Oh, Seven.
Oh my God. I think that's the one where people are like, this dude's here. Because, like, Thelma and Louise, they're like, okay, this guy's good looking. Is he an actor? And then same with like True Romance.
Because he was in True Romance. That's right.
True Romance. He's playing a stoner on a couch. This guy act, we don't know. But I think.
But then Cool World, he was in.
That's the little cartoon, right?
That movie's
weird. But he was decent.
Yeah.
And then I think 7 was
Johnny Suede, I think, was another early film where he had like Johnny Bravo hair.
Yeah. You know what's crazy? Brad Pitt should be sending Denzel a thank you card every year for Christmas.
Why was he supposed to be in 7?
He was supposed to play Brad's role in 7.
Really?
Yes, that's who Fincher originally wanted. And
wow.
Denzel turned it down, and he said, every role I've ever turned down, that's the only one I regret in my whole career.
Wow.
He's not doing 7. So he wanted Morgan and Denzel to be the 2 leads.
That would have been a totally different film, though.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think it's better with Brad because you needed more contrasting characters.
Yeah.
Denzel and Morgan probably would have felt too similar. You know,
and plus having seen them in Glory together.
Yeah. Like, it just would have felt too similar. But I think that's what made Fincher probably want them to, seeing them in Glory together. Like, God, they had chemistry.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can bring that back.
Yeah, because that would have only been like 6 years later.
Yeah, it's not that long. Because I'm like, Glory's like 88 or 9.
And and that was like 95. Yeah,
so it's not that long. So he was like, but he got Brad, and they were kind of like unsure about him, and he's like, all right.
That was his first really big film.
Big, like, starring, like, big money-making movie, all that. Because that movie made a lot.
And you know who the serial killer was?
Dude, Kevin Spacey.
That was one uncredited Kevin Spacey.
Because he was like, Fincher was like, I don't want people to know he's in it.
Yeah.
I want them to be surprised when they see it. And dude, it's one of his best roles.
I'm
like, it's one of his best.
John Doe, right? John Doe, yeah.
It's so creepy.
Yeah.
Especially when like he goes to the jail. I'm like, oh my god, this guy is so.
Yeah.
Anyway, 7's great. If you guys haven't seen 7, which you probably have, go watch 7.
I wonder if that influenced the Joker in The Dark Knight at all.
I think so.
Yeah, now that we're talking about
it. The bank scene in the beginning, just the way he walks into the bank, his presence is very John Doe-like.
Yeah,
it is like. There's a lot. So I know Nolan said he was watching Heat a lot when he did The Dark Knight. The Dark Knight, low key, is a heist movie too. Yeah, and it's obviously that's going to be one of the best heist movies if you want to look at it that way.
Yeah, because he takes all the money from all the all the gangs.
I mean, the bank robbing scene is like. This is an iconic scene. What an opening.
Yeah.
With the school bus and shit.
Oh my god, a perfect way to get away.
Yeah, dude, like so gangster, yo. And then like just the way they ride out the bank with it and all the dust is falling off the bus and like it just I don't know, it just feels so Nolan is something else too.
Yeah.
We'll talk about him one of these days. Yeah. But yeah, it's just Ocean's like I think Oceans is probably far more influential than we even realize. Yeah. With like, because it's probably one of the first big team-up movies.
Yeah, where you had like...
Bunch of A-listers.
Because think, like, it made Brad Pitt and George Clooney like Paul Newman and Robert Redford. It
really did.
It did. That's what it felt like.
Man, they should have did a Butch Cassidy remake.
Oh my god, if they would have...
That would have been... Probably the best remake of all time.
I would have been like Pee Wee Herman in a movie theater.
Dude, yeah, right?
Rest in peace, Pee Wee. But
who would direct it though?
You know what? The thing is, like George Roy Hill obviously did the first one, and then he did The Sting with them, and they only ever did 2 films together, but they were so good. So good. So think about obviously Soderbergh would have to do it.
Did it, bro?
Well, he would have had to because of having the history with. Directing them, I think he would have been able to get the most out of it.
And then their chemistry is holy hell, that would have been a remake for the ages, man.
Yeah.
Wow.
But yeah.
I would man, we should do like a fantasy remake episode.
We should, where we just
cast the directors and actors.
Fan cast like our own.
Yeah. That'd be fun because
that'd be a great episode.
That would. I have a couple other ideas we'll talk about off screen.
Okay.
So back in the Oceans, because I mean, Oceans is so the influences he drew influence from so much, yet it influenced so much. It's hard to not talk about Oceans and not talk about a bunch of other things. Yeah. With the cast and everything, it's incredible, and the way all these characters play their part to perfection. No one wanted to outdo each other. You know...
Yeah, they give each other room. You're right.
Room to breathe. They know when it's time to let this person shine, especially between Brad and George. Yeah. You got 2 bubbling actors that are the peak of their careers. Yeah. 2 of the considered the most handsome, most talented, most recognizable faces in Hollywood. Sharing a screen together. the ego on that screen is dude who filled the state of Texas. Like, come on,
It
man.
could
Like,
have,
they
yeah.
could have, like,
but I
they
think
set that shit aside.
because I think they probably realized, like, you can tell. I don't want to say they're friends because even though they are,
Yeah,
I believe they are. But at the time,
yeah,
I don't want to say at the time that they were friends, but you could tell they were at least like friendly and getting to know each other in such a way because once again they had to act like they knew each other for decades,
Yep.
just like Ving Rhames
and him
in Out of Sight. Yeah,
like
that chemistry.
Dude, when George first pulls up to the card game and Rusty sees him, you just know,
Oh my
like,
God.
these two are they're a pair, you know, these two are probably some, you know, a duo, and they are, man, they perfectly give each other enough room to breathe. They respected the shit out of each other.
Yeah.
It was very apparent, especially even in the second one, because George Clooney,
and that's more Rusty's story.
Seat. Yeah, I was like, George kind of takes a back seat to Rusty in that one, and it still works out so nicely. You can tell George was totally cool, letting Rusty be the star of this, because I'm like, Brad Pitt's really the main character in the second one.
He is, and you're
Catherine Zeta-Jones randomly.
And your favorite redhead that you said, Albert Finney.
Oh, yeah.
Albert Finney's in it.
He's amazing. Sexy.
Albert Finney.
My man Vincent Cassel, though.
Oh, yeah.
That's my guy. Probably one of the best French actors ever, bro. He is so good.
I think that's the first thing I saw him in was when that came out.
Dude, you got to watch La Haine, 1995 French film. Of course, Black Swan.
Oh, is he in Black Swan?
Oh, he's incredible, dude.
Okay.
Irreversible.
Oh, yes. We were talking
incredible.
About that. Yeah.
Dude, he's the range this guy's. And that's great because you saw him in Ocean's first. I'm glad you did. Because if you watch him in these other films, you're going to be like, holy hell, this guy's a great actor. Because he is nothing like he is in Oceans.
Yeah.
Not a thing. Not even close.
Wow.
Two entirely different guys.
Wow. Yeah, because he's a thief in Ocean's 12.
Yeah, he's a thief.
I saw it in the theater. It's the last time I saw it.
Holy hell, you gotta watch Ocean's 12, man.
Yeah, that was like 03, 04.
Yeah, I watched a few months ago. It's still good. It ain't 11, but it's still good.
Yeah,
it's very good still. I gotta say, Oceans is the Limey, Out of Sight, Aaron Brockovich. All those movies are great in their own right.
Yeah.
And we needed all those to get to Oceans. We needed all of them. All of those movies led to this. But Oceans is just in a league of its own. It's his magnum opus.
Yeah, I think so. Like, he's obviously done a lot of great things since then.
Of course.
Don't get me wrong. Like, even award-winning films and whatever. But I think you're right. It goes back to...
That Oceans is like
so great.
Bottle, man.
Yeah, it is. Because you wouldn't have had like, well, think about Traffic, because he worked with Catherine Zeta-Jones in Traffic, and then in Ocean's 12. Mm-hmm. So she's another player, at least in those two. And even Michael Douglas was in Traffic and Behind the Candelabra because he played Liberace with Matt Damon.
Eddie D.
So another player he
got
used.
some guys, bro.
Yeah, so it's like without like I think Oceans or those like 98 to 01.
01. Yeah.
Like without those years of him producing quality films again and again and again, the only other Steven to do it would have been Spielberg. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Spielberg.
So it's like,
how do you psycho on his own right? Dude,
and that volume in that short period of time, I can only think of Spielberg being the one who like almost every year one or two
bangers, and you know they're gonna be good. You know they're gonna make
even his bad movies are good.
That's what I'm like. Spielberg's worst movie is still better than your average director's best movie.
And what would his worst film be? Would it be Temple of Doom?
If that's your worst movie, bro, like, bro, I love Temple of Doom.
I know, I do too. That's what I'm saying. Like, but that might just be like the worst Indiana Jones movie.
Yeah, and people would say,
okay, Crystal Skull. Out of the first three,
first three, they'd say that. But it's like, and people would probably say that. If I pull up the scores on Temple of Doom, they probably are still very high.
That was a great film.
It's a great film.
Yeah.
Dude. Come on, bro. That movie made me more afraid of bugs than maybe anything else.
And snakes.
Planet. Oh my god, it's bugs. And
chilled monkey brains.
Yeah, chilled monkey. My man, Short Round. Come on, bro.
Short Round.
Data,
Dr. Jones, no time for love.
Time for love.
Yeah, and you know what? just a quick aside. That dude, man, in Everything Everywhere All at Once.
He deserved that Oscar.
Oh my God. Just to see him and the emotion and the range after having not acted for how long?
I was so blown away by him.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe what this man was pulling, especially in the Mood for Love parody.
Oh,
he's talking about doing laundry and taxes with her when they're in the alley.
Yeah.
He almost put a tear in my eye. I'm like, dude.
You can feel the emotion. It's like, I think the best actors can draw from their own real experiences. Like, method acting.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And actually make you feel it. And I think it actually goes back to like when you see Clooney with all these other actors, be it Out of Sight or Ocean's 11 or 12 or whatever, you can feel the emotion between them.
Yes.
And I think that's what makes it work, and that's what makes it good.
Yeah. Especially in Out of Sight, dude.
Yeah.
Because Out of Sight's more small scale.
Yeah.
So and it's less characters, so you really feel it in there. Like
that one scene in Out of Sight where after they get it on and she feels bad about it, she's like, now you can tell people you fucked a U.S. Marshal. He's like, why would I do that?
Yeah. And he's like, what? So you can tell people you banged a criminal?
Yeah.
And they both were feeling the same way.
He's like, why would I do that? Most criminals, and he goes into this diatribe about how stupid bank robbers are. Yes. And it's incredible because he's basically saying, in a way, how stupid he is. So it makes her an idiot for sleeping with him.
Yeah.
But they still loved each other.
But he's like, that doesn't change my opinion of you at all.
Yeah,
and it's like, because you can tell, like, they both are feeling some kind of way. Because, like, she's laying in the bed, she wakes up, and he's in the bathroom, and he comes out, and they both they share a look like, should we have done that?
Yeah.
And then they're looking at each other like,
yes.
It was amazing, you know?
Yes,
so
like, we should have.
Yeah, it's like we were two people that clearly had a connection.
Yeah.
Both single. Well, she was
just dating.
Single. She was just dating.
Yeah, and it sounds dumb.
Married, so
that's right. He was
married. So screw it.
Yeah, so
And,
that's right.
Like, and he's like, yo, he's still living in the house with her. She's like, yeah. He's like, I ain't separated then. So I'm like, I don't think she was really doing anything wrong. It's I don't know if it's Soderbergh or if it was the actors or what, because obviously we've seen these actors work with many other people.
Yeah, a great director can get a great performance out of any actor.
Anyone. Yeah, that's why you got to check out Sean Baker, bro.
It's like a great coach.
Yeah.
Can make a shitty team great.
Hell yeah. Some of the best teams to win championships didn't have the most talented guys on them.
No.
Hell, there's some teams that you're like, man, that team won it all? Coaching.
Are you talking about the Eagles
I
again?
was literally going to say, listen, that Eagles team that won the Super Bowl, that was really good coaching by Doug Peterson.
Man.
A little luck and some great coaching.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's incredible. Soderbergh is definitely like a coach.
Yeah.
Of course he's got his Tom Brady's with, a Clooney or a Pitt,
Yeah.
But he can get anything out of anyone. He can do it with Luis Guzman, who would be a fourth stringer. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but the thing is, he makes him
look like a first stringer.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
Yeah, he makes him look like a super duper star.
And that's just it. When you can do that, even I never saw Catherine Keener before Out of Sight, and she'd obviously been around.
Yeah, she's been around
before then. But it's
he made her a star, I think, with that movie.
Yeah,
because after that, that's when her career. Because she did Being John Malkovich, right after that. I think. Yeah. And then, she just started.
And then, wasn't she in the 40-Year-Old Virgin? Yeah.
After that, she took off.
Yeah.
Now she's done Get Out. And
dude,
she is haunting in that movie, bro.
stirring.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I'm like, yo, Catherine Keener, you kind of scared me.
Yeah.
She was great. She's been. Another great film she is in, Synecdoche, New York, with Philip Seymour Hoffman.
You've talked about that before.
Dude, she's amazing.
I don't remember if it was here or just us talking.
It was one of them.
Well, here is just us talking too, but
it's all the same thing.
Yeah.
It may or may not have been recorded.
Because we were talking about Philip Seymour Hoffman before.
Yeah, that's
one of your guys, and he's a redhead.
I need to bring him back. Yeah, man,
he is.
He was hot, man. He had that hot body.
Capote, right?
Yeah, that was the film that made me fall in love with him. I mean, he was gay in that movie, so but no, Philip, he's actually gay quite a few movies.
Well, and believe it or not, even though he wasn't, he
played it insanely well. Like in Boogie Nights, you couldn't have told me that dude wasn't gay.
Yeah, like he's just good at what he does.
He is.
Yeah.
You have to watch The Master.
Yeah, you were saying with Joaquin, right?
Bro.
Oh, yeah, because
that's some
PTA.
Chemistry. If you want to see some chemistry,
yeah,
them two, oh my Lord. Joaquin and Philip C. You couldn't have told me them guys didn't hang out for a whole year before they shot this. You know what I mean? Like there, and we got to do a PTA episode.
And you know we will, because I know what you want to do next, because we said it before. You want to do Guardians next.
Yes, we want to do Guardians.
Yeah. So then after that, we could do a PTA.
Absolutely.
PTA, yeah. After we do our James Gunn.
Yeah, James Gunn.
Yeah. James Gunn Marvel.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way.
Yeah, Marvel. We won't get into Suicide.
Yeah, because
that movie's awesome.
Because sometime we could eventually do like the Suicide Squad and Peacemaker, because it shows like how he sees these characters and how they fit in with the bigger picture. Let's say
that's where James Gunn's strength lies as a hero guy. He cares about the fucking characters.
Yeah, he does.
He really does. Like,
yeah.
Guardians 3, I've never seen so much care with each individual character.
Yeah.
That's where I was super impressed. I was very impressed by that movie. I was like...
And I assume that's why you were like, we have to do a Guardians.
I was like,
yeah.
Holy hell, this movie's so good. I was like, wow.
And you have to watch the holiday special also.
Oh, yeah. I gotta
you
watch
do.
That,
even though it's nowhere near Christmas yet, but I think it's important for the overall narrative for how he handles the characters.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I think I'm going to, as I'm working later, I think I'm going to throw The Flash on, bro. Because I got to watch The Flash again, bro.
I just got the Blu-ray today.
Oh, you got it?
Yeah,
yeah. Man. How much was it?
20? It was actually, it was $25 after all the discounts at Barnes & Noble, because Frillish has like their card and it was like 30% off. But you know, they overprice anyway. So it's probably like $25 anywhere else. Yeah. But I was just like, I just got to get it, because I wanted to get all the like the movies anywhere, the behind the scenes stuff, all that, so I could watch that on my phone or on a computer or whatever.
I'm like, I think I want to get The Flash too. You know, I'm gonna wait for the price drop.
You know what I realized though? I watched it again last week because it came on Max. So I watched it again. I realized there is no actual villain in that film.
You know, you're right.
The only villain is the unseen villain.
Villain.
There's an unseen villain, whoever kills Barry's mom.
Yeah.
And comic book fans already know. But there's no real villain, because even who you think is the villain, because I realized young Barry sees old Barry answer a question that Supergirl asks him. She says, "Why did you save me when you found out I wasn't Kal-El?" Mm-hmm. And what does Barry say? Because you needed help.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all young Barry knows.
Yep.
So even this other character, all he knew was that those people needed help. So he kept trying to do whatever he could to help them. So he's not really a villain. He's just doing whatever a hero would do based on what he saw his hero do.
That's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
'Cause
I just love that damn movie. I keep watching it.
It's great. Like I just did everything I watched in August.
Oh, I got to check it out.
Yeah. Well, it's not. It'll be out Saturday.
Okay, I'll check it out.
I'll talk about The Flash on there, and I actually talk about it for a minute because I was like, I feel so bad for this movie because it should have made way more money.
Yeah,
more eyes need to see it, and I'm like, it's one of the best hero films to come out in a while. That and Guardians 3 are the two best hero films to come out to me in the last few years.
And honestly, talk about chemistry. Ezra Miller and Ezra Miller. And Michael Keaton. You know what I mean? Like, because there's no real reason why that should work, but it does because it's Michael Keaton, I guess. You know, the older statesman coming in.
He's a fucking great actor. Like, he's fucking good.
He is, man.
Like, dude, everything I've seen this kid in, I'm like blown away by him. Especially The Flash.
Yeah.
Low key, that could be his best role. Because he plays two entirely different people that feel like two entirely different people. It's crazy.
Almost this many.
Yeah.
But believe it or not, if you think about it.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah. And it's like he just embodies something in that. And I think I realized why I'm obsessed with it. One, I waited 9 years for this film to come out.
Waiting, bro.
Yeah, and I'm a big fan of the character ever since I was a kid, and the 1990 TV show got me into the character. So I've read a lot of the Flash just growing up. Then after that, and like being that it shows the what a hero has to go through and what a hero has to sacrifice to do what he does on a daily basis.
Yep.
And not many hero films show that.
They don't show that, yeah.
Yeah, like they show like the origin. Like let's say Batman's origin, right? Mm-hmm. But you don't think about what Bruce Wayne goes through every day because of that.
Struggle mentally.
Yeah, because of that.
I gotta make tough decisions every single day. Like not just tough decisions. Like most people probably make 5 tough decisions in a span of a year.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, I make 5 tough decisions in the span of 2 hours.
Yeah.
So it's like, they don't show a lot.
And honestly, because of your job, you probably make more tough decisions than anybody.
Of course.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, so you might be able to relate to that too, like seeing the inside, like the internal struggle.
Yeah.
Which you don't normally see because you just see him like, he saved that woman in the beginning and she just runs away and he's like, thanks, Flash, for saving me. Like he realizes how ungrateful people are.
Like, people are thankless.
Because he's the janitor of the Justice League.
Yep. Yes, sir.
But like inside, he's struggling every day because of what he's missed out on. Mm-hmm. And it's just...
It's like, I just saved you and these babies.
Yeah.
And y'all are going to have a family. Everybody's going to be cool, but I ain't even have that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Someone else gets to experience what I never did.
I say I helped you get the experience I never got.
Yeah. And that's like Batman's motivation too, though. Yeah. Because he didn't want any other kids to experience what he experienced.
Yeah, and not every other kid's gonna have $1 billion to
play
with.
Yeah. Poor little rich boy, as they say. Yeah. But yeah, I'm sorry. I just love the Flash so much. I just can't stop talking.
Guys, I do. I as well. I really like the Flash too. Like, so if you ain't seen the Flash, it's on Max now.
Yeah, it is.
Definitely watch the Flash.
Yeah, give it some love.
Chance. Yes.
Yeah.
Give it some streams. Give it a chance. Hopefully, maybe we can get down the road. Maybe we can get a follow up to it.
Yeah, so then we can find out who killed his mom. Because that's the whole point of the story.
It really sucks that this movie might not get a sequel because it didn't make no freaking money and it stars a guy people hate. And I'm like, damn, dude, but this film is great.
The writing, the direction, everything about it is actually almost the perfect superhero film because it shows you something you don't normally see in a hero film.
That's what I'm saying. Like, my favorite parts of the film was just Barry interacting with Barry.
Yeah.
Not the non-action, non-superhero-y stuff was what I loved about the film. And I think that says a lot about a hero film.
He got to be a mentor to himself.
Yeah. It's almost like I know every single person who's over the age of 30 has had a conversation with themselves like, God, if I could just go back and tell myself some other stuff.
Yeah.
You actually get to see that played out in a movie.
Yeah.
And it's like, that would be a fun movie concept of just someone going back and just reteaching and redoing things and seeing how things would change. The end result could kind of honestly be like, well, things happen as they do for a reason because you may make things worse or whatever.
There was a TV show in the late 80s starring Matthew Perry. I think it was on Fox called like Second Chance or Second Chances. Mm-hmm. And it was about a guy, I think it was when he was older. I don't know if he died or what, but he somehow went back to when he was a teenager and would kind of guide himself as a teenager. Cool. Yeah. That's like early Fox when it was first around.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, sorry. Ocean's 11.
Sorry. We literally got we went off track for a good 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah, sorry. The Flash does that to us.
It will, but So Oceans is a perfect film. Yeah. I don't really know if you...
Steven Soderbergh's...
He's a genius.
Yeah,
he really is, and he's still going hard. He's still working today. Guys, check out more Soderbergh movies, guys. You gotta... I think we are going to start highlighting some of these lesser known directors because like we were talking about David O. Russell earlier.
Yeah.
These guys, yes, their movies get love and people have seen them, but they don't get enough credit for the things that they do. We praise all these actors like, with David O. Russell, like we're praising Jennifer Lawrence, we're praising Bradley Cooper, Christian Bale, which of course they're amazing. But guys, what do they all have in common? David O. Russell.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, And even like Three Kings. Think about the cast there. George Clooney,
Ice Cube,
Mark Wahlberg.
Marky Mark.
Yeah.
And Marky Mark, and he's another one good with chemistry. Those 3 guys had chemistry like they've been doing tours together forever,
Yeah. And like who knew, this is going to sound terrible, but like other than like Friday or at the time,
Friday and Anaconda.
Yeah,
that's pretty much it.
Who knew Ice Cube could be that great?
Yeah, I was like, he's very good. Oh, Boys in the Hood.
Oh, that's right. He was in
the Hood. He was good in that.
Yeah.
But I mean,
John Singleton.
John Singleton, amazing.
That's right. Yeah.
But Boys in the Hood, you could also chalk that up to being like, okay, he kind of played a version of his rapper persona.
Yeah, that's true.
You could say that if you don't want to give him credit there, even though he is very good. But I mean, Higher Learning too. If you ever seen that.
Higher
Michael Rappaport, Omar Epps.
Oh, was that a Spike Lee movie?
It's not Spike Lee, but it feels like.
Because Michael Rappaport, wasn't he like Spike Lee's white guy?
Yeah, he was.
I mean, I hate to say that, but
he
you know.
was, yeah. No, it feels like a Spike Lee movie. It does, but it's not. But I think Spike Lee produced it or something.
Okay.
So I think he was involved. So it does feel like a Spike Lee movie. You know what? No,
so it might not be a Spike Lee joint, but it's like. But he may have been like the dealer.
Bong.
Yeah, okay, the bong. Okay. But, it's the bong water. Yeah. Okay. That makes sense.
No, think about it. I'm like, actually, Ice Cube was doing shit.
Yeah, I guess he was.
It's just...
Because look, Friday's incredible. F. Gary Gray, man.
F. Gary Gray. Friday, Set It Off, Straight Outta Compton. Dude.
Italian Job.
Italian Job is so good.
With Mark Wahlberg.
Mark Wahlberg, Charlize.
Yeah.
And Mos Def.
Oh, yeah, Mos Def.
Mos Def.
Well, he was great in that movie. Jason Statham.
That was when everybody kind of like...
Handsome Rob.
To know Jason Statham because not everybody saw Snatch and Smoke Lock Stock. Yeah. So, that was the one where like people were like, oh, who's this kind of sexy British guy?
Because that was before the Transporter.
That was before Transporter.
Yeah,
I think Transporter was like maybe a year or two after that.
Yeah.
But all right, guys. So what we giving the grade? What grade we got?
Oh, it's got to be an A+. It has to be. I mean, we said in the beginning it's the best out of the three anyway.
It's the best out of three, and I'm like, I'm giving out a personal A+ because I love it so much. Like I could probably pick it apart more than Oceans. Yeah. But I mean, I don't want to because I don't need to. It's that good.
But Oceans is more linear until the end. So I think. So do you think that's what makes it a better film? That you can kind of stick with the story more as it goes, or
no? I think what makes it a better film is its subject matter that's more digestible for everyone. Yeah. More recognizable faces.
Yeah.
And it's just more fun. It's got more humor.
Yeah. It does.
It's just a film your average film watcher could hop on.
Oh my God.
Before Out of Sight.
When Brad Pitt is like, somebody call a doctor. It's like.
He's hilarious, dude. Yeah. He's eating the whole movie is so funny, bro. He's always eating something.
Yeah.
It's hilarious, dude.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So go out, watch some Soderbergh films if you haven't. And we will be back soon. I'm Dom.
I'm Jamie. Oh, and don't forget to like and subscribe.
Oh, yeah. Like and subscribe. My bad. Yeah, do that. Especially if you made it this far. Like and subscribe. Sure.
Please.
So do that. Yeah, guys. And don't be afraid. Drop some comments. Tell us if you think we're idiots. We love it.
Yeah. Because we might be.
We might be.
Yeah, you never know.
Everything. Shit. It's just two guys talking about what they think.
Yeah.
So enjoy, guys. Thank you.